the Winston, the inaugural of America's All-Star race. 70 laps, $200,000 to the winner.
Who would have thought 25 years ago this experiment would become the spectacle it is today? A night when drivers are racing royalty. For the best, come for one race and $1 million.
Tony's makes $1 million. Casey Kane, the fan favorite, wins the All-Star race. Dang, I love it.
Who would have thought a night where points don't matter?
Into the wall goes Kyle. Into the wall goes Kurt.
Means hard racing never takes a back seat.
Wow!
And caution is for another time.
He flies past the finish line. And Earnhardt goes on the grass. Still got the lead. Incredible.
Memories made tonight will last a lifetime. And as these moments shine into the night, one more question comes to mind. Who would have thought that maybe they were onto something? The All-Star race is next on Speed.
The lights will soon be on. The stars are already out. Tomorrow is all about honoring history. Tonight is all about making it. The Hall of Fame inductions will take place Sunday afternoon. Who will become famous tonight? Charlotte, North Carolina, the mecca of motorsports. Tonight, the holiday every race fan waits for. Speed is proud to present the 2010 NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Hello, everyone. Along with Jeff Hammond, I'm Chris Devoda, and every major sport has an All-Star event. We're no different, Jeff. I mean, Pro Game has it. Major League Baseball has a fan vote. We have that. NBA.
But ours is bigger, and I think it's better.
Why?
Because unlike any other All-Star event where the guys kind of come in and it's like a fun vacation, these guys are here tonight are laying it on the line. They're willing to sacrifice these $250,000, $300,000 cars all to go to victory lane and all about the $1 million. I mean, it's no holds barred. Let the rough side drag, folks. I mean, they're here to play serious.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our Home Depot race format. This race is like no other, Jeff.
It really is. You take a look real quick. It's 100 laps, 150 miles, but 50 laps the first segment. You can have 4 tires at that pit stop. Then you got 2 more segments, 20 laps apiece. But the one that's most important in my book is that 10-lap run. The other ones kind of set you up for it, but the key tonight will wind up being that pit stop. They have to come down and get 4 tires all at one time. And as you come off the exit of pit road, well, that's what's going to determine the starting order for that final 10 laps. That's going to be huge. These pit crews are going to be center stage of getting it done tonight, and they better do it right for the first time.
Well, that's right. It all funnels into that 10-lap final shootout. The pit crews, they are definitely under the spotlight and under the gun
under the pressure tonight, for sure. I mean, they can't afford to make a mistake, because otherwise it could cost you $1 million. Well,
Steve Burns knows something else that makes this race unique and interesting. Steve, what would that be?
Well, Krista, a little quiz for you and Jeff Hammond. When does $70,000 get you $1 million?
Wednesday night.
Good guess, Jeff Hammond, when you win the Sprint Pit Crew Challenge. And let's talk about that. Now, you see the pit boxes here. David Reagan in the 6 car, Martin Truex Jr. in the 56. They're in the Showdown, the preliminary race. But Denny Hamlin and the 11 team, they won the Sprint Pit Crew Challenge on Wednesday night in Uptown Charlotte. The Jackman Nate Bowling got $10,000, and the team won $70,000 by being the fastest. Now, as Jeff said, the last pit stop will come with 10 laps to go, and over the years, these guys in the pits have been little more than glorified cheerleaders. But tonight, by virtue of winning that Pit Crew Challenge, Denny Hamlin has the first pit stall. So he will get the advantage of getting off pit road if those pit crew guys who were so good Wednesday night can give him a good pit stop. So by winning $70,000 on Wednesday night, they may very well have helped Denny Hamlin bring home $1 million tonight.
And Steve, that's a very good return on a Wednesday night investment. Jeff Hammond, our crew chief, this is probably the night that you and your crews, this is what you circle your calendars for.
You really do. You try to bring the fastest car possible. You figure out what it's going to take to make this car stay under your driver for really short runs. It's not about the marathon we're going to have here a week later and during the 600. It's all about sprint racing. You've got to get it good for 50 laps, and then you start kind of loosening it up and making it faster for the 20-lap runs, because you got to get in position for that key 10-lap run, and that's where it's all out. The last adjustments need to be the fastest adjustment all night.
The last equals the fastest. The pit crews are the unsung heroes usually, not tonight. They could make or break that $1 million check. It's a pressure cooker, and you're in it. Next up, a 3-time All-Star winner joins us live here on Speed. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Sprint, the Now Network. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by Denny's 2468 value menu. Try 16 different value meals all day, every day.
And Gordon again forges ahead.
Right there, Jeff Gordon is just awesome off that corner. Look at that gap he puts on the 29.
Gordon got a pretty decent run getting into turn one. Gordon shuts the door on him. Gordon second, wants the lead on lap one, coming to the inside at the line. He's got it.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway for Speed's coverage of the Sprint All-Star Showdown and the race. Joining us now, a true all-star by definition, Jeff Gordon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, the microscope you guys have been under this year, does this event come at a perfect time for you guys to just kind of take a breath?
Well, just watching the clip there, you know, it reminds me of how good we've been this year, and it's been an exciting year for us. So, you know, the All-Star event to me is where the teams that have momentum, the teams that are really shining this year, that are going to go on to do great things, really show that here in this event. So, and it's a total team effort for sure, especially more so tonight than it ever has been with that 4-tire stop leading into that final 10-lap segment. So, there's a lot of excitement around it. I'm not sure what I'm more excited about, getting the All-Star event going or watching this showdown, because this showdown is, I mean, it's already intense, but you look at the field and what happened with qualifying.
Right.
And, man, there's going to be a lot of excitement, because you have to be aggressive in that race.
Only 40 laps.
It's only 40 laps, but you look at guys like Burton and Edwards and some of the guys further down, you know, in the field. I mean, how aggressive can you be, I guess, is the real question.
Well, I kind of came up with this kind of way of looking at that first 40 laps. You've got to be fearless, but at the same time, you got to be lucky. I mean, you're going to have some luck on your side if you're going to make your way up through there, because I think we've already heard from drivers that are starting in the back. They may have to be say like, excuse me, coming through, excuse me.
Well, and it's also the crew chiefs are going to have to be fearless too, because they're going to have to make pretty gutsy calls. We've seen that in the past in that race as well as in the All-Star race. And that's why I guess if I was looking, you know, you got Biffle that you know is going to run good. He's further up towards the front. Boyer. And then I think Juan Pablo Montoya, you know, he's one of those guys right now that's aggressive and he's running good. So this is a great event for him.
When you said a minute ago, you'll be watching this shootout. I mean, it's just going to be a great race if you're a race fan. But as a driver, will you be looking to try to take something away from it that maybe you could run in that first 50 laps?
Maybe some restarts, see what happens on double file restarts. But, you know, the track right now is warmer than it's going to be for our event. When 9 o'clock comes around, the track temp and the grip level is going to be a lot greater than it is in this event. So you're going to be able to be even more aggressive in our race, which I think is another thing that makes the All-Star event so cool.
With this event, phrases define past races, the pass in the grass. For you, it was T-Rex, and I didn't know this. Kyle Busch said this week that he was a huge Jeff Gordon fan, and that was one of his favorite memories looking back.
Certainly one of my favorite
That's what I figured.
That was a cool event. You know, to go back at the old, I mean, it was what I think it used to be like 20, 20, and 10 or something like that. So they were short segments, and they inverted the field.
Right.
So to go win 3 segments is something that's pretty much unheard of. And we had a spectacular race car that day with T-Rex. And, you know, it's certainly one of my fondest memories. An All-Star event always creates some kind of memory for me. Last year we had an awesome race car, but it didn't end up so well. We've had those types of finishes here too, but we've had great finishes that are something that I'll never forget.
You mentioned a minute ago about the restarts. I know that in the drivers' meeting, you guys were still kind of like questioning how the restarts are going to be handled. I mean, is there confusion there, or do we have it figured out?
I think we've got to figure it out, because what they're going to do is the first green flag, and what I am confused about is that every segment, but all that I really care about is the final segment. Is the starter starts the race just like a start of every race that we run, you know, every weekend. And then from there on, the number one guy or the leader will start the race. So I was under the impression that the starter started the race each time. So I got clarification on that. We're good.
I'm glad you understand, because you know how important those restarts are.
Oh, exactly. That's why I was asking the question.
Well, you lead your teammate Jimmy Johnson in All-Star wins. He has 2, you have 3. And you also lead him in the baby watch. Expecting your second, they're expecting their first. Everything looking good?
Everything is great. Ingrid's doing well. You know, we're excited, you know, to have a boy and a girl. We were just over in the bus lot, and Ella was making laps,
doing
running
her own
around.
laps.
Yeah, she was running her own race with no competition, and we were having a lot of fun watching her. We're very excited about having number 2, and of course Jimmy's parked right next to me, so we're excited for them as well. And they're you know what, within a month now, I guess. So they're getting really close.
Hey, I just think I heard Ella saying, "Daddy, Daddy, I want $1 million. Pay me."
Thank you, Jeff, for stopping
She's gonna
by.
say, "Did you bring home the $1 million?"
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Jeff.
guys.
Good luck tonight. Jeff Gordon will certainly be a factor tonight. Will he be the happiest guy at night's end? Put on your best shirt. Actually, forget about it. Come as you are. It's party time here on Speed. Back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Showdown drivers getting ready, getting anxious. They have to race their way in. The top 2 in this race move on. The only other way you can make it into the Sprint All-Star race is by the fan vote. Max Pappas looks ready. These right now are the top 5 vote getters. Allmendinger, Ambrose, Burton, Edwards, and Sadler. That's an alphabetical order, and you still have just under an hour to get your vote in.
And the key thing right now, don't forget, vote for your driver.
That's right.
Don't leave him hanging out there. He needs your votes, folks. You still got an hour to go.
And we've seen it happen. You could get voted in and win. Casey Kane did it a few years ago.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip also.
That's right. Chris Devoto along with Jeff Hammond getting you ready to go All-Star Racing. Steve Burns also on hand. Steve, what's going on down below?
Well, Chris, the drivers all by their cars, talking with Carl Edwards. Carl, the last couple of years, you've been wearing this nonsense as a pit reporter.
Yeah, I know, and I wish I was right now. We're starting 26, I think, in the Sap-like Fusion. It's a long ways up there, 40 laps. So I would much rather be in the All-Star race and be interviewing someone else who's got to go through this thing. But this Showdown is going to be a really, really tough race. There's some very fast cars in it.
It's an all-star race in itself.
Yeah, no joke. I was sitting in the garage. I got Clint next to me and Burton over here, and you know, Hornish is screaming fast. Biffles, you know, he's always tough, and it's going to be a heck of a race.
It would be fun to watch. Thanks, Carl. Good luck. All right, we're going to walk up the pit grid here and talk to some other drivers. The Showdown, as Carl said, has some very talented cars or drivers with some very fast race cars. Carl's going to have to come from the back. Travis Quapple getting ready. J.J. Yaley in the 46. Robert Richardson Jr. there in the 92, and we're working our way towards Martin Truex Jr. Won at Dover a couple years ago, and Martin, we were just talking to Carl Edwards about this is an all-star race in and of itself. There's a lot of talented people.
Yeah, there is, and you know, I'm sure he's not too happy about where he's starting either. So we're in the same boat there. But rain kind of put a damper on things a little bit last night. We got a great Napa Toyota and only 40 laps to get it to the front, so we just got to do what it takes.
In other words, just stand on it and turn left, right?
Yeah, among other things.
All right, good luck tonight, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. And yeah, one driver they all may be watching out for, as Jeff Hammond and I were talking about. Who do you like?
You got to watch out for Juan Pablo Montoya right now. He's got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
And he is aggressive and assertive, just what you need. What'd you say? Fearless and lucky.
And lucky. That's what it's going to take tonight, I think, for somebody to be able to advance here. We've got probably one of the best Showdown races I've ever had the privilege of watching.
Well, the drivers are fired up and ready to race on the razor's edge. Who will it be? Well, first we have to get you ready with tonight's opening ceremonies. Let's go down for tonight's invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the president of Motor Racing Outreach, Billy Malden, offers tonight's invocation.
Gracious God, Heavenly Father, we once again pause to recognize you and give thanks. Bless all those who are working and providing to make this event possible. I ask that you watch over these drivers, teams, and officials, that we may have a safe night of racing. For all those who are guarding and protecting our freedom at home and abroad, we especially pray for their safety, and we thank them for all they do. We are blessed people. And again, for our many blessings, we give you thanks. In Christ's name, amen.
And now, to sing God Bless America, sponsored by Triangle Rent-A-Car, proud Sprint customers, national recording artist, The Wells.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my
For their performance of God Bless America with a little help from the T-38s from the 25th Flying Training Squadron.
The most intense moment of NASCAR's biggest week is finally here. More from Charlotte Motor Speedway as Speed's presentation of the Sprint All-Star Race slams into fifth gear with race number 1, the Showdown, the most stacked field in history. You will see it as we get you closer to green next. The All-Star Race is a whirlwind indeed. Time to take a look at the Tornadoes. Bold is how we roll strategy. Jeff, we already mentioned Montoya. We know he's going to be tough. Stay out of the fence. It sounds simple, not with 40 laps and $1 million on the line.
No, the thing is right now, they have a chance at that $1 million deal. You've got to get up on the wheel and make it happen. We're taking a look right now at Juan Pablo Montoya. Everybody seems to think he's got one of the fastest race cars here tonight. But again, starting back in the 14th position is not a benefit with only 40 laps to get it done.
Yeah, unbelievable. The fact that drivers who are all-stars by definition are not locked into this race. We heard Jeff Gordon mention it. We've been talking about it all week. This is about to be about as intense of 40 laps of racing as you've ever seen.
It really is. I mean, we can't make it and emphasize it enough, folks, because the fact they didn't get qualifying in, the way that they're drawing, there's some guys up there that everybody's kind of wondering what kind of moves are they going to make? What's going to happen when they drop the green flag? Will Max Pappas stick, or will he make a problem right at the very beginning of this race? For David Reagan, he's got a chance right now to win one of the biggest 40-lap races in his entire career. He's starting on the pole.
Well, you mentioned the way that they line up sort of differently. So are we going to see crashes? And if so, when and where?
I'm telling you, you're going to have to stay tuned here on Speed because they will crash, and we don't know where it's going to happen at. It may happen going off into turn 1, or it could be coming off of turn 4. You just never know.
Well, the pulse of NASCAR is right here in this venue, and the pulse of these drivers right now is sky high. 4 drivers currently in the top 12 in points are not locked into tonight's big race. This is about as big as it gets. We mentioned some names: Boyer, Biffle, Hornish. He won it last year. Then you've got guys like Carl Edwards, Clint Boyer, Allmendinger, and Ambrose. Who will it be? Who will finish first and second? It's time for tonight's command.
Now, race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal, proud Sprint customer, David Kirk.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Coming up, we crack this thing wide open. Reagan and Pappas are on the front row. Big names will have to come from the back. It's the All-Star Showdown. Who will scramble to climb in? Well, you need to climb aboard. This train is ready to ride. You will see it next, right here on your home for all things NASCAR, Speed.
We are ready to race in Concord, North Carolina on Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night. The NASCAR Sprint Cup All-Star Race starts here. And now, lined up on pit road, the 29 cars of the Sprint Showdown, and they are ready to go to determine the final 3 starting positions in tonight's Sprint All-Star Race. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Charlotte. Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds with you for a fun Saturday night. Darrell, it's a bigger track, but otherwise, this is just like all those Saturday night short track races we used to love.
Yeah, and they even went and reversed the field, you know, like some of those silly heat races we used to run on a Saturday night. We got some guys in the back that are going to have to be really in a hurry to get to the front. So we're going to have some, what Larry and I like to call, we're going to have some comers and we're going to have some goers, because Montoya and Jeff Burton and several other good cars are lined up at the rear of this field. Keep an eye on them. 20 laps. They got a lot. They got to get it done in a hurry.
Yeah, twin 20s, and in the second 20 lapper only the green flag laps count. So you have the option of making a pit stops between segments. What do you do?
Yeah, old school thing would have been no question. When that caution comes after 20 laps, 4 tires. Don't even debate it. But I've already seen in the garage area a lot of different strategies. We've seen it all year in 2010. The fact, I think when we have that caution, even though we have 20 green flag laps, possibly 3 green-white checkers to run, I think you'll see strategy all over the place. And what I like to say about this race, it puts a whole new meaning to go or go home.
Oh, sure. Well, I'll ask you both quickly. Does track position trump tires? Yes or no?
I think so with the conditions, because this racetrack is in pretty good shape.
Track position is king.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's have a look at how they will line up with our Sunoco starting grid. They had qualifying last night, all but the last 4 cars, and Juan Montoya was fastest. However, those 4 cars, beginning with Carl Edwards, never got on track, so they reverted to the qualifying draw for starting positions, which put David Reagan and Max Pappas on the front row. So there's row 9. That's where Jeff Burton starts. Let's see if we can dial up the cat car.
Hey, Jeff Burton, it's DW Fox Sports. Our speed tonight. Got a copy, buddy?
Guys, call 40, call 4,000. It's a little more than that, but call 4,000. That'll give me my area.
He's talking to his team right now. Hold on a second.
Copy that, 4,000.
And Jeff Burton at CW in the speed booth up here, buddy. Got a copy?
Yeah, DW, I got you.
Hey, man, you got a fast car, but you're starting pretty far back. What do you think? What do you got to do to get to the front?
Got to go. You know, I feel like we got a good race car. These tracks will be quite a bit different than it was when we practiced. So, you know, I think we made the right adjustments, and you know, everything we do is important. We can't make any mistakes tonight. I gotta get it all when I can get it all. You know, gotta not push it too hard either. You know, being wrecked doesn't get you in the race. So we gotta just be smart and take them one at a time. Got 40 to do it. Gotta go make it happen.
All right, buddy. Good luck. We'll keep an eye on you and get that thing to the front. Don't have a lot of time.
Y'all have fun.
And we will. Here's the Toyota track description for Charlotte Motor Speedway, where they began racing here in 1960. A lot more seats have been added, but the shape of the racetrack remains the same, with its 24-degree banking, slightly banked straightaways, and that long, winding front straightaway, a double dog leg with the start-finish line right in the middle. The Burger King sign and race promotion is on. Burger King is letting you sign the actual race hood that will be on Tony Stewart's car for the Daytona race on July 3rd. How about that for the ultimate fan endorsement? Your signature on Tony's actual race car. Go to bksignandrace.com for details.
Memory serves me right, that Burger King hood went to Victory Lane last July in front of Tony Stewart.
All right, let's get it downstairs and get late word from pit road. 29 cars to start this race. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Martin Truex Jr. is hoping to pull off the same performance that Tony Stewart did last year. Come to All-Star Weekend with a brand new team and score your first win of the season. Now, Truex was very fast in practice, but because of the rain, he starts all the way back in 20th. Pat Trice and his crew chief reminded him, this is a good race car, almost a brand new race car, and we don't need it next week, meaning go ahead and do what you have to do. Truex told me if that includes using the bumper, I will use the bumper going from the back to the front. Keep an eye on the 56. To Dick Berger.
Well, if confidence will have anything to do with success tonight, give the checkered flag to A.J. Allmendinger. He is absolutely certain that he is going to win tonight's race. His crew chief, Mike Shiplett, is absolutely certain that number 43 is going to win tonight, just as Allmendinger won here 2 years ago. Strategy? Very simple. Allmendinger plans to run as hard as he can every foot of every lap, and told me moments ago he's going to pass 3 cars on the very first lap. He starts 8th, Steve Burns.
Well, Dick Berger and Greg Biffle's pit crew has picked up the nickname of the Pit Bulls. They're on the signboard, they're on the hood of the car, and they want to help Greg Biffle earn a shot at $1 million payday because of, remember, that last pit stop, or the last segment, they make a pit stop, and how you come out is how you line up. But to do that first, Greg Biffle has to get into the top 2 in this sprint showdown.
Thanks, Steve. Norm Benning has elected to drop back. He was a couple seconds off pace when they qualified the other night, so he gives up his 15th starting position and will go to the back of the field. Let's remind you, you can enhance your race experience tonight with All-Star Race Buddy. Multiple camera angles, chat, live timing and scoring, and more. It's all there for you at speed.com right now.
I just want to warn you on this start of these races and these restarts. It is so easy to spin the tires here. Watch the restarts. That's when it's going to be the most critical. Somebody spins the tires in front of you, you ram into them, you're out of the race.
You know, guys, I believe watching practice at the start of this race, it's going to be the inside line that's definitely going to prevail. I think some of the better cars are starting on the inside line.
20 laps of racing, then we'll get a competition caution. The sprint showdown is on. Green flag, we're racing. Three wide, one car way up on the outside. It's Allmendinger. Here he comes.
Yeah, Sam Hornish Jr. in that 77 bottled him up down there in the middle of 1 and 2. Now he's gathered it back up.
3 wide into the corner. They make it. Here comes Montoya. Uh-oh, Conway slipping back through the middle. That'll hold up Menard. It's 3 wide off turn 4. Little bit of contact. Everybody okay. Robbie Gordon up the outside for 7th place.
3 wide, 3 deep. This is when you got to go, though, Mike. You got fresh tires on. You got them all there in front of you. If you're going to get to the front, you got to go now.
Bill Elliott trying the bottom. Can't make the move with that red car on the inside lane. It's that outside groove that moves. Jeff Burton trying to give Elliott a push. Let's go.
I don't think Bill really wants a push. I think Bill likes to, I like to get out of the way, but I can't.
Just in front of them, Menard and Montoya split a car, and here comes Allmendinger against last year's showdown winner, Sam Hornish, for 3rd.
Yeah, Allmendinger in that 43, he has been taking no prisoners whatsoever. There you see Greg Biffle in the 16 gets by Pappas in the 13, but meanwhile, David Reagan in that 6 has checked out to about a 10-car length lead.
Allmendinger for 3rd. Underneath Max Pappas, who started outside pole based on the draw. And now the front 3 come to the line, Reagan, Biffle, and Allmendinger.
That Allmendinger car, just like he said, that's a bad, fast car right now.
Greg Biffle trying to move up. Here's Steve.
Mike, he is bad fast, but he's also concerned. He just told Greg Irwin and that pit bull crew, guys, I just hit the splitter hard. I'm concerned about it.
Well, I think that supports what Jeff Burton was talking about. This racetrack has a lot of speed and a lot of grip. You didn't mirror these kind of speeds in practice, so the car didn't travel as much in practice yesterday.
Car up high, almost into the wall. Oh, no, that's just the 42. That's Montoya's line. I thought maybe he cut a right front, but that's the line he's running, Darrell.
Let me get this straight. The crew chief says we don't care this, we don't need this car. Go out there, win this race. Just bring back the steering wheel. Oh, my splitter's hitting the ground. Give me a break. Go, man.
Guys, a car I've been watching is that 78 car, Regan Smith. He was one of the cars that was 3 wide about 4 times in the first 2 laps. Regan started back in the 11th spot. Now he's up there battling for the 6th spot with Boyer.
Yeah, they got a little race going on right here. These 4 guys, 2 abreast, down the back they go.
Big log jam there at 5th place. Oh, Boyer and Pappas get together.
I don't think that was very necessary.
Regan Smith around the outside.
And
Bernard
look at this. This is the difference in this race and a normal race. Regan's sticking that nose in there. He's going, baby.
There you go. Come on. It's got him sideways.
Smith got in the back of Max Pappas. Here comes Menard and Montoya to the bottom. And
Regan,
Burton.
Woo! Regan Smith has made him a hole and went right through it.
He has made a hole several times, and I think he will prevail with his 33 car going down the back straightaway. Remember, that's Hendrick Motorsports power in that car. Look at him drive that thing down into turn 3.
That thing is going, baby.
Back at the point. Give a call to David Reagan. He started on pole, and he's not looked back. He's led every one of these 7 laps as the action unfolds behind him.
Hey, Mike, track position is king.
Yeah, I remember you.
And he had it. And he had it.
Got it. Yes, he does. Only 2 will transfer. Plus the fan vote, of course, to fill the 21-car field for tonight's Sprint All-Star race.
Tell you what, though, guys, as we watch this battle between Paul Menard and the 98 Clint Boyer and the 33, this is a battle for 6. But back up front, Greg Biffle in that 16 car, just like practice yesterday. And I tell you, somebody just got in the wall right there. I think it was Smith, the 78, but Biffle is starting to run the high side.
But what happened to the 6 car, Larry, off of turn 2 over there? His car has all of a sudden picked up a big push, and he's losing a lot of time off turn 2. And we're hearing that the 78 car slammed the wall.
Watch the black car in front of this view.
Ooh, yeah. That's a little more than a kiss there.
I believe he got it mainly with the right rear.
Reagan continues to lead as we complete 9 laps. Biffle second. Allmendinger unable to close in third, and Hornish in fourth. Then it's Smith, along with Menard, Boyer, and Montoya and Burton. For the lead, Biffle is there, stalking David Reagan.
What happened that time? Now, Reagan had been running the bottom, and he was losing a bunch of time off of 2. He's now moved up to the high groove like Greg Biffle was running, and I believe it's going to really help him.
Montoya grabs 2 spots. He got Burton. Oh, he gets up into Boyer.
Whoa.
Did they touch?
No, they just squeezed each other real tight.
I'm going to tell you what, Boyer in the 33, he probably feels like he's got a target on his car.
And Burton picks up 2 spots right there. Steve.
Jeff Burton's report, I need to roll through the middle better, and I'm real loose on exit.
But you know, Larry, think about Jeff Burton. This isn't necessarily the kind of race that he would be really good in. He's good over the long runs, 500, 600 miles.
In other words, he'll be good next Sunday night.
Next Sunday night. I'm not sure about tonight. He's got a fast car, though.
Well, in this race, the longest run you'll get is 20 laps.
Paul Menard in that 98 car, you know, right now, if he completes his pass on Regan Smith, we'll have 4 Fords in the top 5. A good test for these FR9 engines, a new Ford engine in these guys tonight.
Boy, you just lose so much momentum off of 2 over there if you have to get up out of the gas, and that's what happened to Menard. He got bottled up over there and had to let the 31's going to get by him.
Greg Biffle had a look inside for the lead, but don't forget, that's his teammate he's fighting for the front spot. And maybe, just maybe, they both could transfer to the All-Star race.
You don't want to use your stuff up. We know we've got a caution coming in 8 laps. There's no sense in pushing the envelope right now.
You know what I say about, you know, they say just go out there and do all you, we don't need the car and all that stuff. It's okay to use up a race car if it's for a good reason. Whoa, watch out, Montoya, 4 wide.
Well, Hornish kind of backed him up a little bit there, and as Burton made his move, Montoya made one even lower.
Montoya's car is not real good on the bottom right there. Gets a little pushy loose up off the corner.
This is for 4th place.
Tell you what, I know I've talked about him a lot, but I am so impressed with Regan Smith in that 78 car. We got racing all over the place.
Regan Smith is driving. He's getting in the corner better than anybody out there. He really makes up time getting in, but Montoya is much better getting off.
The race on the right is for 14th, the one you just saw with Carl Edwards and Max Pappas.
When I just saw David Reagan's hands in there, Larry, he is working that steering wheel.
And what he did, he actually made Biffle check up in the middle of 3 and 4 that time because he didn't get through the middle of the corner good.
Montoya to the inside to try and pass Regan Smith and then deal with 4th place Jeff Burton. One car headed for the pits. That will be Norm Benning, who will pocket around $25,000 for his afternoon. Last year's Showdown had just 2 leaders. David Stremme, laps 1 to 25, and Sam Hornish went the distance. Tonight, David Reagan's been out front for all of the 15 laps so far.
Yeah, that 6 car looks like it's really settled down now. It's getting through the corner a lot nicer. Biffle's fallen off just a teeny bit. They're both going to come into harm's way here as soon as Allmendinger can get a little closer.
We'll have a caution here in 5 laps, but the 2 fastest cars, Jeff Burton in the 31 and 4th, Regan Smith in 5th in the 78 car.
It's got Matt Yoakum on the leader.
And David Reagan has said absolutely nothing on the team's radio. All you're hearing is Lauren Rainier, son of former Daytona 500 winning car owner Harry Rainier, just telling him what end of the racetrack Biffle is better than the 6 of Reagan. He said, just run your line.
Trouble, turn 1, Montoya. Hard in the wall from contact with Regan Smith.
Just wrecked.
That was vicious.
Yeah,
I didn't even go to the corner.
That was really not. I can't really place blame on Montoya on that one. Looked like the 78 may have just kind of slid down a little bit and caught him in the right rear.
They were running 5th and 6th.
Watch these 2 guys, they go down here. Montoya's got a great run underneath. I think that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think right here is where Montoya might have not given him enough room right there. And certainly in a race like this, you can't give a guy a break.
That caution came with 4 to go. Remember, cautions count in the first 20 laps.
I think what happens here is they get close right there, and then Regan right here. I think you see Montoya starts up the hill trying to get the line to get down in the corner, and he hadn't cleared Regan yet. So Montoya probably should have not moved up there at that point.
That's a hard one for the spotters to call because it's tails away. The spotters are looking directly at the backs of the cars, not the sides. But still
used up right there.
And he by far had one of the fastest race cars throughout the test and throughout yesterday's practice.
And Larry, Mike, when you go down into turn 1, you kind of swing out toward the outside wall anyway. That's what Montoya was doing. He was trying to get that preferred line down in there. He just hadn't quite cleared Regan Smith in the 78. So I'd say that I'd have to lay that one at the hands of Montoya if I had to put blame anywhere.
We didn't have to promise you action tonight. It was a foregone conclusion. 20 laps to the caution, 20 more laps to make the all-star race. Fenders are going to fly.
Now, when we have this caution at lap 20, with what I've seen, in fact, this is what I was thinking about right here, that these guys would go ahead and take advantage, and Greg Biffle, David Reagan are left on the racetrack. These guys are going to get their tires now rather than waiting to lap 20.
These guys right here, these guys that stayed on the track, they are in deep trouble.
Dick Berggren.
Allmendinger decided that he wanted to pit. The car had a little bit of a push in it. He felt he couldn't win the race without new tires and a chassis adjustment. He's getting both right now. Matt.
A significant chassis adjustment for Clint Boyer. Said it felt like he had about 150 pounds of air in his tires. He took 4. Meanwhile, the 56 of Truex took 2 tires, right side only.
Looks like Jeff Burton in the 31 went with 2 right side tires only.
All perfectly within the rules. When the caution flag flies, regular pit road rules apply. And when the competition yellow comes out at lap 20, the halftime break in this race, then pitting is optional.
Yeah, the cars that just pitted. Here's what happened to the guys that are up there in the front, the 6 and the 16 particularly. They didn't realize they could pit right there and then stay on the racetrack when the yellow came out. I guarantee you.
What about Biffle's strategy, Steve?
Well, Mike,
sorry, Steve.
I'm going to paraphrase this.
Okay.
It's a family audience.
Right.
All right. Greg Irwin, you see him there. He said, "Let's wait to the caution." Seconds later, Greg Biffle says, "Okay, the 6 and the 16 stay out, and the rest of the field pits." Wow. He's not happy.
And you cleaned that up considerably.
I did,
know.
Daryl. I most certainly did.
Because it looks like there's a good chance we're going to go to lap 20 under caution.
That said, let's take a break. We're running the sprint showdown. It looks like we may finish it without Montoya and Smith. Sprint brings you an inside look at what's happening now inside the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Fastest lap, A.J. Allmendinger, 29.44 seconds. That's the quickest lap tonight. And David Gilliland has moved up the most positions, 26, because he didn't pit with the rest of the group under caution. Here's Dick Berggren.
With Juan Pablo Montoya, whose fault was that accident?
It's just hard when you have guys that don't belong there running there. I got beside him about 4 or 5 times. You know, never gave me any room. I went down the straight. I wanted to run the middle, and he just turned down when we haven't even got to the corner. You know, I hit before even getting, you know, like I was running beside him, and next thing I know, when I was just about to turn it in, I got hit in the right rear and pushed into the wall. It's just sad, you know. This target team runs so well, and that's what happens when you start by a lottery, not by performance, and it just doesn't have any.
Before the rain came, Juan Pablo Montoya had been on the pole. The rain eliminated qualifications.
You know, Daryl and I were talking during that commercial break. The 6 of David Reagan, the 16 of Greg Biffle, and the 38 of David Gilliland, they're in a box. They couldn't pit after that because you're sitting there with 24 cars on the lead lap. There's no way even 4 fresh tires you'd get back there.
Yeah, they can't pit now. They're going to have to stay out and run the whole 40 laps.
They could, but it wouldn't work.
They can't win this race if they pit.
So cars in the garage. Joe Nemechek, Todd Bodine, both pulled in. Smith and Montoya from the crash. Norm Benning was in the garage, came back out, run a few laps, and we're ready to restart. Now for this 20 laps, only the green flag laps count.
Now Jeff Burton at 31, Martin Truex Jr. the 56, Sam Hornish Jr. the 77. They went with just 2 right side tires.
That's a little bit of good news for the 16 and the 6. They don't have 4 anyway.
So Elliott Sadler and A.J. Allmendinger are the first cars, the 19 and the 43, with 4 fresh tires, 20 green flag laps, 2 to qualify for the Sprint All-Star race. Green flag.
Boy, Greg Biffle in that 16, he looked like he had a weak restart at the beginning, but boy, did he carry it on down into turn 1.
But Allmendinger went up high, opened the door for Menard and Hornish, and AJ's going to lose some spots here.
One thing I've noticed about that 16 car, Larry, that thing will scoot down that back straightaway. He's got some speed down the back straightaway.
Whoa, Gilliland slides up and in the wall. There they go.
That was just a case of overdriving turn 3 with basically no fresh tires.
And this time, Allmendinger capitalizes, and it's Gilliland in the wall. Bouncing off, sliding in front of Boyer, into the grass and around. David Gilliland, tough luck tonight.
Boy, I tell you what, he got in trouble down here in 3 and 4, and he never got out of trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if he could have made that corner with 4 fresh tires.
No, down here I said, well, 8 tires are better than 4. We see that, but it didn't work down this straightaway.
But tonight is the night you've got to try it.
Over here, there could be debris high. That's what I'm looking at.
Like I said, if you wreck the car for a good reason, I'm okay with that.
Let's give you the overhead view.
Watch these guys. They go off in the corner here. They come right in here.
Bottom of your screen.
Down at the bottom here. Here they are right here.
Ooh, a little bump.
Now they go up in the corner. Now watch. Gilliland loses control, but he's able to bounce off to 6. But here comes Allmendinger on the inside and puts them 3 wide right there at that dog leg. That never works.
I'm telling you what, A.J. Allmendinger in that 43 just barely got by.
He got sideways.
Yeah.
Look, though, Daryl, like David Reagan came down the racetrack to dime it off the corner as if Gilliland wasn't there. Oh, Gilliland
really,
slips up.
Yeah, really
There's
good.
the contact.
Yeah, really
first.
good look right here. Just the 38 car of Gilliland, he just went in that corner way too hard. He washes up the hill. Now, but here's what gets him in trouble. Watch Allmendinger's. He comes under right here. There's not enough room for 3 cars.
Yep.
See that happen there a lot off of that corner.
Watch how close Clint Boyer in that 33 just sneaks by.
Yeah, on the second contact, watch the big squeeze. It's going to be Reagan from the outside, Allmendinger from the inside.
I think what happened there is they probably told Reagan the 43 inside, and he tried to give him room, and he got into the 6.
And he did get into that right rear quarter panel of A.J. Allmendinger, the 43.
Yeah, he had him sideways.
Let's ride with Clint Boyer. See how he got through this.
Let's go. Clear all around. In front of you. Go low, go low, go low. Come on. Oh, good job.
That's Mike Dillon, his spotter.
I love Dillon.
I love Dillon. Go low, go. Oh, no, that's
I love Dillon. Oh, Steve.
Mike, the issue for Carl Edwards, he radioed in and told Bob Osborne, I ran over debris, so they've got to get 4 tires. They also pulled the tear off. 4 tires for Carl Edwards.
Yeah, that's just a long way to go and a short time to get there.
See if we can see any apparent damage.
Well, the 6 car's damaged.
Allmendinger's
big time. He's got a lot of right side damage. I think Allmendinger's okay. Just got clipped a little bit. See that right rear quarter panel, but remember Juan Montoya over here last year had a right rear quarter panel it looked like, and he got lapped at about 20 laps. So they may have to come in and work on that 43 car.
The cautions and the sheet metal are flying in the sprint showdown. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown brought to you by Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com to watch a free video. Go affordably, Go RVing. By Golden Corral's Great American Seafood Tour, all part of the dinner buffet, all for around $10. And by Gander Mountain, it's time to gear up for summer at Gander Mountain. We live outdoors. Getting ready for the restart. Let's go to Steve Burns.
With Greg Irwin, Greg Biffle's crew chief. Now, Greg, I heard Greg say this car is hunkered down. Can you make it on fuel?
We should be. We should be good right now. We're kind of watching our equivalent green flag real close. You know, we would have liked to have seen that gone a lot longer on the green there. We had an excellent start, and obviously the thing got through turn 1 and 2 really good. We got a little lead there. I would have liked to have seen it go green, but we're saving gas right now best we can, and we'll see what happens.
Biffle is the leader. Martin Truex second. Third is A.J. Allmendinger, and David Reagan got back in line for fourth.
I like that 43 car. He's the one car up in that group that got 4 fresh tires a while ago when he made his pit stop.
Yeah, and I don't believe fuel will be an issue. Watch these restarts.
Green flag with 1 of the final 20 laps complete. And it's Biffle, only the second leader tonight. Takes off out of turn 2 ahead of Truex. Allmendinger. A side-by-side battle between Reagan, the 19 of Elliott Sadler, and Burton.
Look at Allmendinger, that 43 car, drive that thing down in there, and he took her right to the bottom, but he actually paid the price a little bit on the exit.
Drove in too hard. Needs to roll out a little early. He gave up a bunch of speed. I'm a little bit worried. He's got more damage on that right rear than I thought he did, and that affects these cars big time.
Jeff Burton up to 5th. Paul Menard now 6th. Single file. Here comes Burton. Going after the 6 of Reagan. 4th place rather. Burton on the inside sails it off into the corner. And Menard's coming.
Well, I know one thing about Jeff Burton. Even before that caution, he has been hugging that white line with that 31 car.
That's old school, baby. That's the way you run this place.
Reagan drifts high, and Menard is going to get him for 5th place.
Yeah, Reagan's got he's got a lot of damage on the right side of that 6 car. I'm surprised he's running as good as he is.
We'll follow this, but let's go back and have a look at the restart and watch what happens to Clint Boyer on this restart as Jeff Burton goes to the bottom for Allmendinger, and that's 3rd place right there.
Larry, that 43 just got a lot of damage on that right rear quarter panel, and that affects the handling of these cars a lot.
I think you're right, Darrell.
Bottom of your screen, the maroon car is Boyer. Scott Speed behind him.
Yep. I don't know how many times, Mike.
Whoa.
I don't know how many times I see that over here. Time and time again, the restarts.
Marcus Ambrose making the pass on Sam Hornish, and that's at 7th place. Ambrose in the 47 Toyota.
Well, Larry, it's going to be interesting to see if that 16 car, he might be sitting in that car, he and Greg Irwin, he might be sitting tires. I don't need no stinking tires.
Well, just looking at those front 2 in the scoring monitor, they're the only 2 cars right now running in the 29-second bracket.
There you go to Speedway, hit your marks, clear by 7 now.
Burton in 3rd, Menard in 4th. How about Allmendinger's Ford in 5th? Dick Berggren.
Well, Allmendinger has just told the crew that the car has gone to junk, quote unquote. We're not going to make it.
Well, and Dick, I think it's what Darrell said. He's got 4 fresh tires, but he's just got all of that damage. But back up there to the front, I think what those 2 guys need to do is think about the big picture. The big picture is the top 2 is going to transfer. Don't get to racing each other and let Jeff Burton at 31 catch up.
Well, that's the guy I'd be worried about if it were me. Burton, his car is really, really fast. He only took 2 tires, but I was expecting him to close in on these guys. Looks like he may be falling back a little bit, though.
13 laps to go, and Burton is 1.4 seconds
off the lead.
Actually, Paul Menard in that 98 car is just a little bit faster than Jeff Burton in the 31.
Yeah, he is, Larry. He's been catching Burton there just a little wee bit every lap.
And it's a 4-car race because Allmendinger is falling back into the clutches of David Reagan and the side-by-side battle Reagan's having with the Tasmanian. Here they are 3 wide, and Boyer prevails.
And just remember, Carl Edwards in that 99, he came to pit road on that last caution and got 4 fresh tires. Problem is he's 12th and 6.5 seconds behind our leader Greg Biffle.
Larry, watch that 16 car. That FR9 Ford engine, that thing has got some zip to it, buddy. He pulls that Toyota, the 56 car of Truex there, he pulls him a good 10 car lengths down the back straightaway.
In other words, she's handling pretty good on the straightaway.
Handling right where I like them, baby, down that straightaway.
And the proof is in the watch. Jeff Burton in 3rd. His Chevrolet now 1.5 seconds back. Looks like Burton is not going to catch the 2 leaders without a caution.
We'll be coming 10 down and 10 to go in this 2nd segment next time by.
Well, this is about when Burton's car would normally kick in. Burton sets his car up for the long haul. That was why I was a little worried about him in this short race.
I am impressed, though, with that 16 car being out there basically on 30-lap tires and still able to run the lap times he's running right now and leading this race.
They do it. They do that to you and I all the time, right?
Yes, they do.
Oh, they're done. They're cooked. No tires.
But you're right. The key to this race is Martin Truex. He's in protective mode. He's going to stay close enough to Biffle in case anything happens. But he has little to gain by passing Biffle because getting side by side, all that's going to do is bring Jeff Burton close enough to pounce. So if Truex is going to make the pass, he's going to have to deal with Biffle very, very quickly, and they can't afford to run a couple of laps around here side by side.
Now, because the last time by, Burton was about a little over 10th quicker than Biffle in the 16 car.
Boy, that 56 car, though, is running that high line, and that is paying off of turn 4. He's there this time by.
Got a great run off turn 4 into the front stretch.
As soon as he moved to the top, Larry, the 56 car Truex, he started gaining big time.
And now he goes to the bottom because Biffle in the 16, he's at the top. It looks like possibly Truex will prevail. But there's that horsepower down that back straightaway.
Watch that thing down that back straightaway. Eases right on out there just a little bit.
Can't clear him, and this is a dangerous game if Martin Truex stays side by side with Greg Biffle, because
here
now Jeff Burton is coming, but Truex wants the lead and the win.
He's got it.
And now it's Biffle's turn for big picture racing. Nope, they're going to go at it side by side. Everybody wants to win it.
I think this is about when the older tires, you're going to have a little bit of a fall off with those older tires.
Now, because of being on the high side through 1 and 2, Martin Truex Jr. in the 56, he'll take the lead. But here comes Biffle back to the bottom in that 16.
Biffle just doesn't have the grip, though, Larry. He can't keep it on the bottom.
But he can't get there. You're all clear, all clear.
6 laps to go.
That's Ty Norris.
6 more.
Clint Boyer may have caught the wall. Oh, he did between 3 and 4 that time.
Yes, he did.
He'd been rim riding. He's on the outside of Travis Quapple with Carl Edwards chasing. He just ran out of racetrack.
My man Clint Boyer has had a tough, rough race here tonight. Yeah, a lot of damage to that car.
5 to go for Martin Truex. And Boyer is headed for the pits.
You know, Larry, I don't think we can say enough about that 56 car. You think about last week at Dover, set on the pole. That team is really starting to gel.
They really, really are. Just moved into the top 12 in points. Remember, next week, halfway in those first 26 races to the chase.
Martin Truex won the Showdown in 2007 to transfer into the All-Star race. Clint Boyer has taken his car to the garage.
4 more, but 4 more. 69 and 90 out back.
4 laps to go. 30.69 for Martin Truex. 30.90 for second place Greg Biffle, the lap times. And Jeff Burton now 2 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, Burton is obviously not going to get up to the 16 car. I thought he would with those 2 tires, but I am really, like Larry said, impressed with that 16. of Greg Biffle, running the whole race on the same set of tires. That's pretty impressive.
I'll tell you, a car that is really walking the dog right now and keeping lap times in pace with Truex is Paul Menard in that 98 car. He's right there within about a tenth of what Truex can run right now. 3 to go.
Yeah, the biggest difference in Truex and Menard, Truex is going in the 3rd turn, Menard's coming off the 2nd, so quite a bit of gap.
2.5 seconds.
Too much to make up.
2 laps to go for the Napa Toyota and the 3M Ford. Those are the 2 cars that would transfer. Jeff Burton and Paul Menard close, but not quite there.
You know, a car that's really hung tough to no avail is David Reagan, who started on the pole in that 6 car. He's sitting back there in the 6th position. We know how much damage he's got, plus he's on tires that's been on there since the start of the race.
But Larry, I really like where Truex and even Biffle are. They've got 40 laps under their belts now. They can go in, tweak on their cars a little bit. Those guys are going to be somebody to watch in the All-Star race.
And 3 times that's happened. A driver's transferred.
Last lap. Martin Truex will catch some traffic, but probably single file.
Yeah, he'll work right by those guys. I think they're well aware.
All right, work with that 92, that 57 will be on your way also.
No problem.
Robert Richardson moves aside to the bottom.
Whoa, don't get in there too high, too hard, though.
Norm Benning ahead, and the checkered flag awaits.
Nice job. Napa know-how.
The sprint showdown
Great
goes
job,
to
Martin.
Martin Truex and Greg Biffle.
Let's go get ourselves $1 million now.
With Burton, Menard, and a great drive by Marcus Ambrose to come up for 5th.
So we know that Martin Truex Jr. and Greg Biffle will transfer. Now the question, who will get the fan vote?
So Martin Truex will make his 4th All-Star appearance, and he wins over $51,000 for these 40 laps.
Pretty good pocket change there for 40 laps, isn't it?
Kind of liking that. Could be a big night for the old boy.
So 20 of the 21 car field are set. Quick 56. I'd say so. Martin Truex goes to victory lane and then lines up for the big dance. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicle, now at your local dealer. By Mahindra Tractors. Visit your local dealer to test drive a Mahindra tractor today. And by GoDaddy.com. Domains, websites, and everything in between. Martin Truex has just won the Sprint Showdown. Let's join Chris Devoda.
The smoke has cleared. We now know who will advance to tonight's big race with Jeff Hammond. And Jeff, your thoughts? I mean, we thought Greg Biffle was in big trouble. He advances, Martin Truex wins.
We saw some really great calls and some not so great calls, but the way it turned out for Greg Biffle, he got by with one. I think a lot of people went to school on that move by him and Greg Irwin.
All right, well, there's actually 2 winners in this race. They both get to advance, but Martin Truex, the official winner, Matt Yoakum, is with him.
Just missed the big high five by Pat Trison. 05, you got the fan vote. 07, you won this event to go to the big money show. How would you describe this showdown tonight?
That was fun. It was. We knew it was going to be a challenge coming in. We, having to start back there because of the rain, we knew it'd be challenging. And you get on these big tracks and the dirty air is really, really tough. So at the beginning, we just, fought that track position, got real tight in traffic. But Pat made a few adjustments. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. We got us 2 tires there and got some track position, and then it was just one at a time picking them off. So. They had a little bit of a skirmish down there with the 38, whatever, 37, 38, whichever one it was, and that helped us open the door. But once we got up there, got towards some clean air, our car got really good, and I was pretty happy with it. So we still got some work to do for this one. Now this is where it's all going to happen. So the guys are going to work hard on the car. I know Pat and them will do a great job on our Napa Toyota, and see if we can't go up there and challenge for $1 million.
One deposit slip already filled out. He's going for a much bigger one coming up. Dick Berggren?
Well, Greg Biffle, you are in the big race tonight. How important was that strategy of no tires?
I think track position really important, but more importantly, this 3M Ford Fusion. It's driving really good. I got a little too aggressive. I got too much of a qualifying setup, and it's a little bit harsh to drive on the front tires. And, out front, it's really, really good. And I'm excited. I'll never keep my roll up of making every All-Star race since I've been in the Sprint Cup Series.
Do you think you can win the big show tonight starting from the back?
Man, I'm pretty tight. We're going to have to do some adjusting on this car, but a little rigid on the front. We'll have to wait and see. But I get track position. We free it up a little bit. They're going to have their hands full.
All right, well done so far. Chris Devoda.
All right, thanks, Dick. And Greg Biffle has a secret weapon as well, the 3M Pit Bulls on his side. 20 of the 21 drivers have been decided. The fan vote still to be determined. Coming up, Jeff and I will recap what's already happened and bring you up to speed on what's to come. Stars, Martin Truex advances, winning the Sprint Showdown. Of course, the big race still to come. Let's go ahead and take a look at results from our Showdown. This is the warm-up act, Jeff. Martin Truex, he advances, transfers in for the 3rd time in his young career. Greg Biffle also moves on.
Yeah, he was really excited about the fact, talking about Greg Biffle, his being able to continue his streak, making the All-Star race. But hey, tough night for Jeff Burton. Paul Menard, Marcus Ambrose, they were close, but no cigar.
Yeah, and in this race, really, the rest of these results really don't matter. The top 2 move on, and that means Jeff Burton is left on the outside looking in. Matt is with him.
Burton scores a top 5, but that's a 3rd place finish. So what did you learn over that short little run?
Well, we were worried about, you know, being for a short run, we need to have enough grip, and we were just too tight. And then we put 2 tires on, we even got any tighter. We tried to free it up in that stop. We knew we were too tight in the first run. We just couldn't get it freed up enough. So, you know, disappointing. The first run was okay, but again, the end of that first run, we were too tight. We fought that all day in practice yesterday, and you know, disappointing. But we'll, you know, this is a good race team. You know, we just can't finish things off just yet, but we'll get to where we do, and when we do, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Burton 3rd here tonight. Krista.
All right, thanks, Matt. Yeah, you can see the disappointment on Jeff Burton's face. Now the track gets ready for the big race. Let's go ahead, though, Jeff, and take a look at how we got here. Hard racing right away. This is Juan Montoya. We knew he'd be tough, but contact with Regan Smith, and that's a hard hit. Montoya will not advance.
Yeah, Krista, here the caution came out. And this is where we really thought maybe Greg Biffle and his teammate David Reagan made the biggest mistake of the night, but hey, it proved to be a good move for Greg Biffle.
Okay, so this is segment 2, 20 laps, and it only takes 1 lap for things to get really interesting. David Gilliland hits the wall really hard.
Biffle had the lead right there, but the 56 car, Martin Truex Jr., he wanted it, took it on the outside, and it was the start-finish line. Martin Truex Jr. gets the victory in the Showdown.
As we said, Truex, there you see the team really excited. The 3rd time transferring into the All-Star race. He won the fan vote in 2005. He was also the 2007 Showdown winner.
This is another great thing about racing here in Charlotte is the fact the families are a part of the All-Star event. You see that young man right there. He was excited as the big guys were.
Yeah, and now Truex, Biffle, they advance. They go on to the big race, $1 million prize. And we still have one more driver still to be determined, our fan vote winner.
I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out. I mean, we've been waiting a long time. A lot of people have voted. I'm starting to get a little nervous.
I know. We still have Edwards, Boyer, Burton. They're on the outside looking in. They will have to watch it with the rest of us. It all comes up, the Sprint All-Star race on Speed.
Let's go get ourselves a million now.
Some of the pictures from the Sprint Showdown. Well, tomorrow, live from Charlotte, North Carolina, don't miss an epic television event for the ages when Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt rightfully take their place as the first inductees of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Live coverage begins tomorrow at noon Eastern, exclusively on Speed. And the King standing by, big smile on his face as he's ready to get inducted tomorrow. But he's here for the race right now. Let's take a look at our Valvoline poll question from Speed.com, where we asked, who would you guarantee to win the 2010 Sprint All-Star race? Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, or the field? None of the above. Here are the results. The answer is none of the above. So just about everyone has a chance.
Story of my life.
Yeah, was that what you were? Would you have guessed that? None of the above, even with Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon in there.
It just goes to show you that the fans, well, they're not sure either.
Well, and it goes to show you that anything truly can happen in this race. We just saw Truex and Biffle move on. Truex pitting. Biffle never even came to pit road, still advances into the $1 million race.
Well, the thing is that when I look at this, I have to believe that maybe the guys who built the tires this time, Goodyear, they came with a new left side tire. It's a lot more grippier than what we're used to seeing. I think that's what paid off the dividends for the 16 car.
We knew tires would be a story. Also, the fact that you don't know what you're going to have. It's a trick or a treat. You never know. And this is a test for a lot of guys. How about another T? A test for the Coke 600.
Well, we saw no tires and 2 tires. 2 tires won the race, and no tires finished second. Do you not think it through those guys that are in the next All-Star
They were
event?
watching.
They're sitting there scratching their heads saying, now what do we do?
Exactly. We talked with Jeff Gordon before the race. He said he was so excited to watch that showdown because it was such a stacked field. We knew he was watching, we were watching, and now, of course, it's the big race.
It's right, the big one here. And the thing is, what we all been waiting for are the introductions. I mean, this is one of the greatest parts of our event is when they come down here, we get a chance to meet the drivers, the crews, and the crowds. Well, they go wild.
I know they do, and the crews have been waiting for this all year long. It's one wild night, and in 40 laps, we've actually already seen it happen. The warm-up act in the book, the big show, about to start on speed. It's a night of all-star racing. The best of the best will be on the track for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race from Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina. And it's time for what we've been waiting for, the driver and crew introductions. From down on the stage, John Roberts, take it away.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm John Roberts.
And I'm Steve Burns. We're thrilled to have all of you here for one of the most exciting nights in all of motorsports. And now, let's meet the teams in tonight's NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race live on Speed.
Starting 18th, driving the number 88 Dale Jr. Foundation National Guard Amp Energy Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, the 2000 winner of this event from Kannapolis, North Carolina, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Starting 17th, driving the number 71 TaxSlayer.com Chevrolet for TRG Motorsports. Please welcome former series champion from Corpus Christi, Texas, Bobby Labonte.
Starting 16th, he drives the Budweiser Ford for Richard Petty Motorsports from Enumclaw, Washington. Casey Kane. From Batesville, Arkansas, he drives the Delphi GoDaddy.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, a two-time winner of the All-Star Race, Mark Martin.
Starting 14th, he drives the number 17 Crown Royal Black Ford for Roush Fenway Racing, a former series champion and all-star winner from Cambridge, Wisconsin, Matt Kansas. Starting in the 13th position from Bakersfield, California, driver number 29 of the Pennzoil Ultra Chevrolet from Richard Childress Racing, a former All-Star winner himself, Kevin Harvick.
Chesterfield, Virginia, driver of the FedEx Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. In his Mike Ford Crew won the Sprint Pit Crew Challenge Wednesday night. Champion of the Sprint All-Star Race, Tony Stewart. Starting in the 10th position, he drives the number 39 Tornado Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing from South Bend, Indiana. He's the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. Starting in the 9th position is the number 83 Red Bull Toyota from Red Bull Racing. Driver from Bakersfield, California, Casey Mears, is joined by a very special guest. Let's please welcome Casey Mears and Brian Vickers. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion 4 times over, Jimmy Johnson.
Starting 6, driving the 00 Aaron's Dream Machine Toyota from Michael Waldrop Racing from Zephyros, Florida, the defending Coke 600 champion, David Rudiman. Starting in the 5th position, driving the number 18 M&M's Pretzel Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, please welcome Las Vegas, Nevada's Kyle Busch.
Missouri, driving the National Wild Turkey Federation Chevrolet for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, Jamie McMurray. Chester Hills, Michigan, driving the Penske Dodge, and starting 3rd, Brad Keselowski. Starting 2nd is driver number 20 of the Home Depot Toyota from Middletown, Connecticut, and Joe Gibbs Racing. Please welcome defending Rookie of the Year, Joey Logano. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Vortex Dodge from Penske Racing and Las Vegas, Nevada, Kurt Busch. Transferring from Showdown. The runner-up driving the 3M, Pitbull's Roush Fenway Ford. From Vancouver, Washington, driver the number 16, Greg Biffle.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here to reveal the winner of the 2010 Sprint Fan Vote, please welcome the Miss Sprint Cup representatives, Monica Palumbo, Paige Duke, and Amanda Wright.
Good evening, NASCAR fans! How are we doing out there? I'm Miss Sprint Cup Monica Palumbo, and I'm joined on stage by my friends, Miss Sprint Cup Paige Duke and Miss Sprint Cup Amanda Wright. And we're here to reveal the 2010 Sprint Fan Vote winner. With over 1.4 million votes this year, you guys cast it on your Sprint phones and on NASCAR.com. So without further ado, let's tweet this. We're going to do it on America's first 4G phone, the HTC Evo 4G from Sprint, comes out June 4th, and we're going to show it to you on our site, twitter.com/MissSprintCup. So congratulations to the 2010 Sprint Fan Vote, Carl Edwards!
Well, Carl, the fans voted you in. Can you pay them back by winning this $1 million shootout?
Man, I'm going to drive like an idiot out here tonight for you guys. I can't say how much it means to me, and I'm going to give it everything I can. And if we win this thing, I'll hopefully make those fans' votes worth something. Going to donate the money to Speedway Children's Charities, and it just means the world. So we're going to go for it, give it everything we got. Thank you guys so much.
Over 1 million fans voted for Carl Edwards. And that's the starting lineup.
All the stars are out, and that includes the crews. They get recognized as well as they should because it's All-Star Night. The drivers are ready to take a bow, and the fans are ready to let them shine. Carl Edwards, your fan vote winner. The fans voted him in part with their Sprint phones, and this is actually America's first 4G phone, the HTC Evo 4G, only from Sprint, and all of the cool stuff that you can do on this phone, like download speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G, shoot live footage of your favorite driver, and stream it to the web. Of course, this is how Carl got in there. You see Miss Sprint Cup right there. What you did not? You're saying you casted the winning vote.
I casted the deciding vote right there for Carl Edwards, man, right here on my Sprint phone. I'm telling you.
I don't believe it. All right, well, this comes out June 4th, but Matt Yoakum is standing by with Steve Gaffney of Sprint right now.
Krista, we've heard over and over from the drivers what this event means to them and why it's so special. And Steve Gaffney, Vice President of Sprint, why is this event so special for Sprint?
Well, this is our only entitled race for the entire season, and for us, we have a lot of fun with it. We give the fans a chance to participate. We just announced the fan vote winner, Carl Edwards. We make this into a pageant, and it's racing for the win. It's $1 million, no points. So the racers do a great job, and we have the 10-lap shootout at the end. We just have a great time.
Now, a lot of buzz about the money, but also a lot of buzz about a new product at Sprint, and it's even on your car, the HTC Evo 4G. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is our first 4G phone, and the first 4G phone available anywhere. It's available June 4th. It's a great phone, 4.3-inch camera. It's got an 8-megapixel camera. It's got download speeds 10 times faster than 3G. It's great.
It's going to be a cool device, but also it's going to be an e-ticket night as we're getting ready. The countdown continues, Krista, for the big money.
That's right, Matt. Thank you very much. Fireworks in the sky, lightning fast speeds about to be on the track. Greg Biffle is in. He finished second in the Showdown. Joey Logano, last year's Rookie of the Year, he won the Burnout Contest. Can he be the newest millionaire tonight? Kurt Busch will start on the pole. No points, no excuses. All-Star Night is about to take off. Carl Edwards said he's going to drive like an idiot. Hey, we'll match him. We'll do TV the same way. The Sprint All-Star Race on Speed next. The NASCAR Hall of Fame has a Glory Road. Well, this is the Glory Road tonight. All-Star Racing, where adrenaline flows, tempers flare. It's as exciting as it gets for our sport. It's time to go back downstairs for opening ceremonies for the Sprint All-Star Race.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the 14th Weather Squadron, U.S. Air Force out of Asheville, North Carolina, presents our nation's colors. Remain standing as Coach Joe Gibbs, along with grandson Taylor, offer tonight's invocation.
As many of you know, the Smiths were nice enough to let us use the drag strip tomorrow at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon after the Hall of Fame inductions. And we're going to have a huge celebration. It's going to be to celebrate Taylor coming out of his treatment for leukemia, 3 years. It's going to be the Taylor's Finish Line Festival, and you're all invited. And Taylor wants to say thank to all of you for praying for him, and he wants to pray for everybody tonight.
All right. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you gave us. Thank you for doing the cross. And please help everybody in their family be good. And I pray for the race car drivers, Kyle, Nate, and Joey the most, to win the most and win a lot. And I pray for your drivers to win sometimes. And I pray for the people in the hospital. I don't want them to get sick. And I pray for my mom's carnival. She lost the plane just a little bit. And I still pray for sunshine. Amen.
Thank you, man.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Candy Burris.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red-glared, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it.
As the the drivers get ready. It was little Taylor Gibbs who stole the show. Can anyone top that performance? These drivers are going to drive it like they stole it. Next, NASCAR's most intense race happens on speed.
Yeah! Great job, Martin. Good job, bud, man. Let's go get ourselves $1 million now.
For more NASCAR stats, in-car audio, and live race radio, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed. All right, Jeff, so we're about to go racing. What in the world could we possibly expect when you've got pretty much no excuses and no points on the line?
No points on the line and a lot of money at the end of the night. Well, the first 50 laps, and we've heard all these kind of like ways to describe a nice race. Well, you've already kind of said one. Drive it like you stole it in the first 50 laps. Well, then the next 20, another guy told me, well, I'm going to drive it like a wild man. And the next time we're going to say, Carl Edwards said, I'm going to drive it like an idiot. Then
what's left?
We got 10 laps to go after that. Well, we're going to drive it like a super idiot.
A super idiot. I don't know if we have any of those in the field. Here's how it works. This is the Home Depot race format, and there you see 50, 20, 20, 10, and that's when the super idiots come out, right?
That's right, but it's after that 4-tire pit stop, which to me is going to be the key to the night.
All right, and you see there $1 million prize. That equals out, by the way, to over $10,000 per lap. That's a pretty good night.
That's a very good night. I can tell you that right now. It is such a night because it's not all about the money either. It's about the pride and the fact to be able to say, I have won an all-star event.
Well, I know this will surprise you. Kyle Busch told me today he's going for broke. It's not a test for him. He's going for the win. Imagine that, right?
He said that to you?
So, you know, if Kyle says he's going for broke, you never know what to expect.
Watch out.
He's
coming
just
through.
one of 21 drivers in the field. Well, it's a backyard brawl in every sense of the term. We're in the backyard of the sport. Who will go to the front and become NASCAR's newest millionaire?
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome members of the inaugural class of the NASCAR Hall of Fame, Richard Petty and Junior Johnson.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The best of the best are on the track. The fireworks are out. The energy is up. Bring back the trophy or the steering wheel. That's what you're about to see here on Speed. It's the Sprint All-Star Race on Speed from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's about to begin. The drivers are anxious. Their nerves are about to boil over. Cash or crash, that's what Jeff Hammond's been calling it. Let's go upstairs to Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, and Darrell Waltrip, ready to call this wild race.
Well, I'm not sure if cash or crash is an apt term, but we have seen that before. Now, 4 segments. First segment, 50 laps. What are we going to see?
Well, we're going to have a pit stop in that 50 laps. And like we said, like I think I heard Jeff say, that's going to really shake things up, Larry. So that's going to make that first lap, 50 laps, a little interesting, I'd say.
Well, there's an element that goes with that 4-tire stop at lap 25. It's a green flag stop. That means all 21 cars will be coming to pit road simultaneously, which is going to be like rush hour in Manhattan, and all 4 teams. So to me, what's going to be exciting will be getting on the pit road and then the teams changing those 4 tires.
I don't even think Hammond could screw that up. It's mandatory.
But Darrell, these first 50 laps, do you really want to lay it all out on the line in the first segment?
Hey, listen, this is a no points race. I'd put that all over the dash. We're not racing for points. It doesn't matter where you finish tonight.
Okay.
All that matters tonight is that you win. And the other thing I'm going to watch out for, it's a good night to maybe get even with somebody if you want to. Some of those rivalries.
2 scores to settle?
Yeah, you know, maybe Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski, they kind of been avoiding each other. Might be a good night to reconnect.
Yeah, and the only fellow who's on probation, Clint Boyer, he's already in the garage. So maybe that's a safe place.
But, you know, Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, too.
Here's our Golden Corral, help yourself to happiness. Who will help themselves to happiness trying to win $1 million tonight?
I'm going to keep a watch on Big Daddy. Jeff Gordon, that 24 car, he's starting 8th. You can see it right there. He's won this race 3 times. It's been a long, dry spell for Jeff Gordon, but when you dangle that $1 million carrot out there in front of Jeff, he tends to wrap it up.
He's the money man. Got that trick little steering wheel in there, too. I see the flat top on there.
Darrell, who''s your choice?
I got the 18 car. And I tell you why. Last year, he'd have won this thing if he hadn't crashed. And guess what? That's the same thing we'll say this year when it's over with. He'd have won this thing if he hadn't crashed.
He has a tough time finishing this thing.
But he'll be up front fighting for it, I guarantee you.
All right, let's have a look at our Sunoco starting grid for tonight's race. Carl Edwards, the fan vote, and they're the two drivers who transfer in. Like the Showdown, everybody else lines up in order of their qualifying draw since time trials were rained out. A very late night last night. Daryl, who you got on the phone?
I'm going to see if I can get Kyle Busch here, the man I picked to win. Kyle Busch, it's DW in the speed booth here. Buddy, got a copy?
Yeah, DW, gotcha.
Look, man, I picked you to win this thing tonight. Did I make a good choice?
I certainly hope so. All these guys do too. You know, this M&M's pretzel car is pretty fast. It was a good practice, so we hope we got a good piece here tonight. We'll try to stay out of trouble, keep all fenders on it, and be there for the final 10 to put on a show for everybody.
I know you will, my man. We'll be watching you, and good luck.
All right, you got it, man. Have fun up there, boys.
Let's remind you that Burger King's letting you sign Tony Stewart's actual hood for the race at Daytona on July 3rd. Now that's the ultimate fan endorsement, your signature on his actual race car. Go to bksignandrace.com for the details. Let's get late word from pit road, beginning with Tony Stewart's pit and Matt Yoakum.
Mike, special paint scheme, special night. Took Tony Stewart 11 tries to win this big money all-star event when he did it 1 year ago as an owner driver. In practice, a lot of the spotters said they were witnessing Stewart do something that he normally doesn't do. Come up off the bottom. His car was good everywhere. He always seems to take it up a notch or two when it's a marquee event like tonight, so keep an eye on that 14. Steve?
Well, Matt, as Jeff Hammond said, a new wrinkle this year, a mandatory 4-tire pit stop before the final 10-lap shootout. And if Denny Hamlin has a good shot to win the $1 million, he can thank his pit crew, because on Wednesday night, they won the Sprint Pit Crew Challenge. Yeah, they won $70,000, but the real big thing is they got pit stall #1, so Denny Hamlin's going to have a great position to get out on this racetrack before those final 10 laps. Dick Berggren?
Well, tonight is Joey Logano's last opportunity to race as a teenager. He turns 20 this week. Asked what he wants for a birthday present. He said, win the All-Star race. Luck of the draw, Joey starts in second place.
He's on the outside of the front row opposite Kurt Busch in that blue deuce. Now there are the transfer cars, Greg Biffle with Martin Truex and Carl Edwards. This race has been won by a transfer car a couple of times. What do you think?
What I think helps those three guys right there is, even though teams tested out here for a day and a half, got an hour and a half practice yesterday, the track was nothing like it is now. I think that 40-lap test session will help those guys. One other story back there, Steve Burns talked about Denny Hamlin. He was going to start 12th. He's got to start at the rear because they had an engine failure yesterday.
I just think you got to watch penalties. I mean, there's so much, you know, everybody's all hyped up for this thing tonight. It's an all-star race. It's a big deal. You got to watch penalties getting on and off of pit road, speeding.
Kurt Busch has elected the outside column there on row 1. Here's the Home Depot race format. This can get a little confusing. It's 100 laps, 150 miles in 4 segments. The first 50 lapper has a 4-tire stop at lap 25. After 50 laps, competition yellow. Then a 20-lap segment. Then another 20-lap segment. And then a 10-minute break, during which the teams may not change tires, because once they line back up, when they get 1 to go, they'll come back to pit road for a 4-tire stop. And how you leave pit road is the way you line up for the 10 green flag laps to finish it off.
That's the one change they made, and I love that change because that involves the entire race team.
Well, look at some of the great changes that have come from the All-Star race into Sprint Cup racing as of last year. Double file restarts, wave arounds for cars on the tail end of the lead lap. All that was tried and tested here. Now it's a part of racing every week.
And it's made it better, more exciting.
Absolutely.
A lot like an all-star race, a lot like tonight.
Michael Jordan, now the majority owner of the Charlotte Bobcats, is the honorary starter tonight. And here they come for $1 million to win. Boogity!
Boogity! Boogity! Let's go racing for $1 million, boys!
Definitely looks like that outside line will prevail with Kurt Busch in the 2 and Jamie McMurray in the 1 following.
Little 3-car breakaway there. McMurray way up high. Here comes Logano to the bottom.
McMurray got in there way too high, but he was able to hang on to it.
3 wide.
Oh, Jeff
Gordon's
Gordon in the wall, just like a year ago.
I mean, he knocked the fire out of it.
Keselowski in the middle. Gordon was trying to give him room. The car slipped right up into the fence.
Oh,
and they're still two abreast now.
He hurt that car, but man, is he staying after it? He is giving up.
Still digging.
Newman coming on the inside.
Keep running. Let us know if you smell anything. I don't see any rubs.
Gordon is 7th.
He hit it pretty flat, Larry, so maybe that car, as tough as it is, maybe it didn't hurt it that bad, but I can't imagine it didn't bend something.
Still 3 wide. Keselowski to the outside now.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the 24 going by here. That's got bad damage.
You're just staying all up. I'm real tight. Simple. Yeah. Just take care of it. We got to get through this first 50. Just lucky dogs and wave bys. We got all night. We can get it better.
Yeah, it's probably hurt that right front fender. That's definitely hurting the way that thing's driving. The car's not turning when he turns the steering wheel.
But Steve Letarte is right. With the wave arounds and the lucky dog, you can get back in this race if you happen to go a lap down.
I just hope it, man. That wasn't that bad, Larry. Didn't sound that bad. Let me take another look at it. He might be all right. I just hope he doesn't rub a tire. That's the only thing I worry about is if you get a fender in on a tire.
Jimmy Johnson has come to 4th. There he is, top of your screen, chasing down the 3 leaders.
I tell you what, though, that 20 car, Joey Logano, making his 2nd start in this All-Star race. He was voted in a year ago. That thing is handling down the straightaways and in the corners right now.
Dodge, Chevrolet, Toyota in the front 3 spots. Johnson has caught the leaders.
Just remember, this is sort of practice right now, guys. I mean, right now you're just working on your car, thinking about the end of this show.
Boy, McMurray in that 1 got a heck of a run off turn 2 that time. He goes to the high side. Looks like he's going to get a pretty good run off turn 4.
Larry, he is going into turn 3 higher than anybody I think I've ever seen, but man, he gets off good.
Johnson for 3rd against Joey Logano. Logano looking to protect the inside. Leaves a lot of room down there. Johnson takes advantage.
Man, did Johnson sail that thing underneath the Logano.
And it stuck.
Oh, man, I think that...
Here goes McMurray in the 1 car to the inside of the 2, Kurt Busch.
I think Kurt may have gotten into the wall off the 2 there, Larry. Was awfully high.
He may have, Darrell, but Murray chasing the lead, trying to become the 2nd leader of this race. Busch with the runoff turn 4, and at the line, it's still Kurt Busch on the right side of his car. Looks unmarked.
Pretty clean, pretty clean.
But I believe they're going to have their hands full of that 48 car, but here comes Logano in the 20 fighting back on the bottom.
That bottom is, it's okay for a while, but off of turn 2, it just doesn't work very well. Turn 4 is okay, but not 2.
Side by side for the lead, but that 48 Chevrolet of Johnson is the fastest car on the racetrack. He's the only driver lapping under 30 seconds right now.
Yeah, he's just waiting to pick a lane, whichever one opens up for him.
He may have to make his own right here. He got to go to the bottom and maybe get underneath that 2 car right there.
Up, down, and for the lead, Jimmy Johnson.
Making that pass off the 2 is hard to do. You get pushy right there, and you lose a lot of grip.
Behind him.
Blue Deuce hangs on. Here comes Logano back for 3rd on the bottom.
Boy, Kurt Busch in that 2 is using every bit of that racetrack on the exit of the corner.
He's not hurting for horsepower either, though, Larry. That thing is pretty stout down the straightaway. Right here is it. Jimmy Johnson can get a great move underneath Kurt, but you can't hardly get underneath the guy and make the pass over there. This is going to be a good run here. He was able to hold it a little bit better than the lap before.
Yeah, I believe he'll drive it down into turn 3 this time. See if that thing sticks at the bottom. Here comes Kurt Busch in the 2 fighting back.
Busch has had good power off the corner. But Johnson on the inside. Can he lead this lap? No. Busch again.
The bottom is just hard when there's somebody on the outside of you like that. You need the whole racetrack to slip up. And it's just...
Water outside.
I think he's got him. Got him clear right there. Clear up.
Clear, 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 clear.
Johnson leaving room on the high side. Not going to happen. McMurray slides back right into the clutches of Logano and Kyle Busch.
Yes, sir. DW's man is on the move in that 18 car. Kyle Busch battling his teammate Joey Logano with the 20.
Yeah, I think Kyle was just waiting for the traffic to clear out a little bit.
10 laps complete. 40 to go in this segment. And that pit stop at lap 25. Steve?
And Mike, Kyle Busch in the 18 hasn't said a word about his race car, but what he's telling his team is, if you guys are watching that 48, he can do anything he wants. He is bad fast.
2 cars on the move are Kyle Busch and his teammate Denny Hamlin, who is up to 10. Jimmy Johnson leads the Sprint All-Star race in Charlotte. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star race is brought to you by Sprint, the Now Network. By Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Put the fuel of NASCAR in your car. And by Cheerios, 100% natural whole grain oats and 1 single gram of sugar. 16 laps complete. Jimmy Johnson has a lead of almost a second on Kurt Busch, the Lowe's Chevrolet out front. There's the Miller Lite Dodge in second. Kurt Busch, who led early for 9 laps, has been in second place for the last 7. In third, his younger brother Kyle is coming. That M&M's Toyota.
Car looks really good, and it's got a lot of power under the hood. I can tell you. Watch him go down the back straightaway. He really makes up time on his brother.
Jamie McMurray has settled in fourth, right where he started. Bass Pro Shop Chevy and the Home Depot Toyota of Joey Logano fifth. Try to hold off a fast closing Aaron's Toyota of David Rudiman in sixth.
Hey, God, it's holding his own. In fact, he started up in the 3rd position, but he's still there in the top 10. Brad Keselowski in that 12th car in the 7th spot right now.
Behind Keselowski, the Crown Royal Ford for Matt Kenseth. Kenseth in 8th. He started 12th. And Denny Hamlin began the race in 20th, and he has now climbed to 9th. Ryan Newman in 10th, right where he started. The Tornado Chevy.
Guy in trouble, Jeff Gordon back there in that 24 car where he pounded the wall the first lap of this race, and now we're getting down to about 7 laps to go to probably what might be the most exciting pit stop of 2010, a green flag stop.
And that could be a problem for the 24 car, Larry, if he's got the fenders caved in around the tires and they can't get them off real good.
Gordon surrenders 12th to that black and silver red numeraled 88 for Dale Earnhardt Jr. The Earnhardt family will induct Dale's father into the NASCAR Hall of Fame tomorrow. You'll see that live on Speed. Coverage begins at noon.
Best running car that transferred from the Showdown, Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 car, started back in 19th. He's up inside the top 15 in 13th.
Yeah, Larry, I think when he gets caught up, I think that 56 is still pretty darn good here. Got a good chance.
Kevin Harvick back 2 positions from where the Pennzoil Chevy started. And Casey Mears in for Brian Vickers. 16th, Casey Kane. The Budweiser Ford 17th.
Big surprise there. I thought that 9 car would be really much better than he is so far.
Mark Martin, the Delphi Chevrolet, running in 18th. And last year's winner, Tony Stewart, the Burger King Chevy. Stewart is 19th. Carl Edwards, the Aflac Ford, is 20th, and Bobby Labonte, the TaxSlayer.com Chevrolet, is 21st. Everybody on the lead lap at 22 laps.
Now we got a special event, special rules. You can see right there. Pit road is closed right now because this stop is only about 3 laps away. Mandatory 4-tire stop under green at lap 25.
Hamlin just picked up to 8th spot, passing Matt Kenseth. Here they are coming at you. Hamlin continues to move up in the FedEx Toyota. 4th place battle's a good one. McMurray in the 1, Logano in the 20, Rudem in the 00.
Yeah, but McMurray has been running a really high line, particularly in 3 and 4. He runs a little lower here in 1 and 2. But he's been a bunch of cars gotten under him, but can't get around him.
You know, the big thing on this stop coming up, Mike, the only adjustment you really want to make is probably air pressure. You don't want to slow that pit stop down with adjusting wedge or track bar or something like that and take a chance of leaving with a wrench in the back window.
And you know, everybody talked about the 48 car and what's wrong with the 48 car. He had one of the best cars, if not the best car, last week at Dover. Here he is tonight. you know, pretty well pulling everybody around here. There's nothing wrong with a 48 car.
Remember last year at the end of the first segment, Jimmie Johnson was the leader. He had led every one of those 50 laps.
Now we'll be coming to complete lap 25, and once everyone goes by the entrance to pit road, you can see it still blinking red. Once everyone clears it, it'll go green. All 21 cars will be on pit road next time.
McMurray and Logano continue to fight for 4th place.
One good thing about it, Larry, the cars are all spread out, so you're not going to get on pit road and get blocked, have somebody in your way, I don't think.
Except for maybe that jam up at 4th place. 3 cars are in it, and there's the green light. There beneath the Sunoco Diamond sign.
Pit road's open.
It shows that pit road is open, and here comes Johnson and everybody. Dick Berggren.
Joey Logano started in the 2nd position. Mike dropped back to the 5th position. The car is loose, particularly on exit. Matt Yoakum.
And Kurt Busch says his car is loose in 1 and 2, tight off at turn 4. They're going to make a slight track bar adjustment as well as air pressure change, pulling a spring rubber for the 48 of Johnson. Steve.
Kyle Busch in the 18 says his car is pretty good. It's just a little bit tight on landing. They discussed making a track bar adjustment, but they will not do so. Clean the grill, and he's on his way.
The 2 Busch brothers, they're going to win the battle off pit road. Looks like Kyle Busch in the 18, Kurt Busch in the 2 car. A lot of trouble on the right front for that 48 car of Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, it looked like he dropped a lug. The right front tire changer did, and he had to pick it up and put it on.
That battle for 4th resolved on pit road in favor of Logano, who gains a spot over McMurray. Now we are still under green.
And now we will go for 25 more laps till that caution comes out.
Oh, a little contact there. Casey Mears and Casey Kane going at it.
Trying to get to your right rear corner there. You're all clear, bud.
Oh, a lot of tire rub there.
Yep, got that, hit that left front tire, hit that left front fender and caved it in.
To my left front fender.
Here's what happened.
You can see it right there. Casey Kane in the 9 car on the outside, and then he gets into the 5 car, Mark Martin.
That's what did the damage.
And then the 9 car looked like he said, hey, dude.
Orange going up there's your last one. That's your last line. You're all good, bud. All good. Remember your blind here.
Casey Mears had a little bit of problem there on the pit exit.
Well, he couldn't go up on the racetrack, Darrell, because you have to blend in on the back straightaway. You can't go up above that white line coming out of the pits down in turn 1. No penalties on the stop, Larry, but let's have a look at Jimmie Johnson's pit stop.
You'll see him coming to his box, slides to a stop. See, he had trouble getting the right front off, and I think that threw his rhythm off. And there you can see a lug nut fail, or NASCAR official right there. And he picked it up, went ahead and put it on. But while he was doing that, of course, everyone else was finishing their pit stop.
I like what he did, though, Larry. He put it on and tightened it up. He didn't just screw it on with his fingers.
Brian Newman, Jeff Gordon for 10th place. And NASCAR this year adjusting that rule just a bit, where that lug nut needs to be installed, but the inspector visually can't tell how tight it is or even if it's in contact with the rim, so the nut must be installed. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Jimmie Johnson, Joey Logano, Jamie Mack. For the moment, it's the Busch brothers' benefit at Charlotte, but they better look in their mirror because the next 3 cars are lapping the track faster than they are. Jimmie Johnson, Joey Logano, and Jamie McMurray. Now, Darrell, a couple of laps ago, what's happening here?
That would be like, oh, brother, where art thou? And here I am right here. I'll never forget what Kyle told me when he told his brother, Kurt. He said they were a little rough racing somewhere, and he said, dude, that's the way we do it up here in the front.
Here's how it looked from Kyle's car. Bump, 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 and run down the back straightaway.
He ain't heavy, he's just my brother.
Don't forget 2007 when the Busch brothers crashed here.
Yeah, and they didn't speak to each other, and 6 months later, their grandmother sat them down and said, look here, boys, you are not screwing my Thanksgiving up. Get your act together. I've had enough of this.
Grannies will do it to you.
Well, Jimmie Johnson is about 1/10 of a second faster than either Kyle or Kurt Busch. And so is Joey Logano and Jamie McMurray.
About to lap Bobby Labonte in the 71 car. We've got about 12 laps to go until we'll see that next caution.
Well, the 48 car is there, and I'm pretty sure he's got enough time to get both these guys. That's him third right there in your fourth car in your picture, closing in fast.
The only payoff in this segment is the leader at the end of 50 laps receives $50,000.
Oh, yeah, that's nothing. $50,000.
Steve.
Well, Mike, we've heard a lot about the new and mature Kyle Busch. On that last pit stop, he said, "You guys aren't the pit crew champions, but you're my champion." Great job, boys.
You know, they did do that.
He's really digging his team right now. He loves Dave Rogers. He says lots of nice things about him. He's digging his team right now.
Matt?
And an update on the 2 of Kurt Busch. They made some adjustments on that stop just to try to tighten up the Blue Deuce. He says the car still on the free side. Meanwhile, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, he says after their adjustments, the front does turn a lot better. But he said Chad Knaus needs to work more on the back of the car. That's the next area they're going to try to work on their next time down.
Second place is the battle. It's Jimmy Johnson against Kurt Busch. And I misspoke and don't want to have you to dig into your wallet. The leader at the end of this segment gets $25,000. 25 more for the leader of segment 2.
I got you. Well, doesn't matter. I asked one of these guys to change for 100 the other day, and they said, "Dude, that is change."
But you know, Darrell, what I have noticed is we've got 9 laps to go to that next caution at lap 50. The 48 car was chopping these boys down. He got to them, and he's kind of just stalled out right there, running pretty similar lap times to those guys. In fact, last time was about a 10th and a half off those front 2.
So now this is brotherly love here. Well, because Kurt is really trying to hold up Jimmy Johnson to give his younger brother a chance to win this thing.
You want to show him everything you got all at once?
He showed me he can chase him down.
Right.
Maybe he had a flashback of grandmother.
Kyle and Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Jamie McMurray. That is still the front 5. David Ruderman 6th. Keselowski, Hamlin, Kenseth, and Jeff Gordon, the top 10.
Seven laps to go this time by, and I just don't think Johnson's got what it's going to take to get by these boys. He had what I think he used his stuff up catching them, Larry. I mean, he drove the wheels off that thing to get up there.
Yeah, especially for those first 5 or 10 laps.
You know, since the restart, we have hardly had a position change, as everyone seems to be riding it out to get to the 50-lap mark and the end of segment 1.
Ooh. And I think we need to well document, we will have this caution in about 7 laps.
Right.
And it's no different than a normal caution. It's your option what you want to do. You can stay out like Greg Biffle did in the Showdown. You can come get 2 tires, 4 tires. It's just like a caution, a normal caution.
You know, based on what I've seen so far tonight, I don't know what to do. I think I want to come in and get 4 tires, but, you know, so we've seen some odd things already tonight.
Would you tell me the top of the show? Track position is king.
King, that's it.
Darrell, I think if you're somewhere like Denny Hamlin in the 11 running 8th on back, roll the dice and do 2 tires. We only got 20 laps we got to live with. Let's see what it does.
That's what I say. I like guys that gamble, particularly on a night like this.
You follow the leader, you'll follow the leader.
Yeah, nobody's going to leave here saying we had a good points night.
No, that's not necessary.
Right.
And that's hard for these guys to understand. Oh, we had a good finish. We don't care.
Denny Hamlin right there in that 11 car. Remember, had to start this race at the rear of the field, losing an engine in practice. He's moved up to the 8th spot.
I believe the worst thing somebody could tell me is I got the best average finish of all these races I've been in over here. And never won one of them.
Exactly. Yeah, I have no idea who finished second last year because it really doesn't matter.
Not a bit.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. just went around Ryan Newman, and now Greg Biffle around Newman to take the 13th place. As we move toward the end of the first 50-lap segment of the Sprint All-Star race.
Well, you know what? As we watch Dale Jr. here and Greg Biffle, it's tightening up for the lead again, guys. The 2 car has chased the 18 back down, and I'm telling you, he's all over him again. Jimmy Johnson's kind of faded behind. But the 2 car is really got that high line working. He is rim riding around this racetrack.
Will this be a winning move 50 laps from now?
Watch this right here, Mike. Watch how he gets right. I mean, I don't know how he's staying off that wall. He's so close to it. But look at this run he gets off the corner.
Woo! And he's been doing that this whole first segment.
Breathtaking right there.
And Jimmy Johnson has almost drifted back to where Joey Logano is in 4th place. All right, 2 to go to the competition yellow. Which Busch is going to be out front?
Kurt's got him. He got him off a 2 over there. That high line is prevailing, baby.
Traffic ahead, Casey Mears. Can Kurt use Casey as a pick?
All the way on the bottom.
Right there, right in the middle of that corner is where that 2 car really goes high and goes hard.
Clear, bud.
Yeah,
Clear.
even though the 18 car
One more turn.
of Kyle Busch is working the bottom good, it just binds it up compared to what his brother in the 2's doing.
But you know what I like? 2 things I like. I like that 18 on a short run. How many 50-lap runs do we have?
1.
Kurt Busch working around Casey Mears. Kyle Busch safe in 2nd. There's the 3rd place, which could be a battle. Jimmy Johnson and Joey Logano. They'll come to the 50-lap halfway sign this time and get the caution in the backstretch. Kurt the leader, Kyle 2nd, Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Jamie McMurray. Then Rudeman, Keselowski, Hamlin, Kenseth, and Gordon your top 10.
Yeah, what NASCAR will try to do is cycle the whole field by the flag stand to take those halfway flags, and then you'll see the caution come out.
And it should be the last cars across the line. Tony Stewart there. We should get the caution here.
And there it is.
Caution down. Caution down.
So this is the 2nd All-Star segment win for Kurt Busch. He won the 2nd segment of the race in 2003.
Now, folks, at home, don't get all excited. That race there is that's 50 laps, and now we're going to have the exciting part.
Yeah, no more long runs.
No more long runs now. It's man against man now.
Casey Mears was lapped just prior to the end of that segment. He will get the free pass and come around. Jimmy Johnson easily caught up to the Busch brothers, but then fell almost all the way back to Joey Logano before the caution.
But I think I know why, Mike. When we looked at the lap times, Jimmy Johnson was killing those guys a couple of tenths a lap until he just used up his stuff. He just run out of tires, I think.
Now they'll let the field catch up. The pace car has not picked up the field yet. Get them all caught up, and then pit road will be open again. This is just a normal caution. Your call.
With the exception, Larry, that these laps do not count. They stop counting laps at 50. They'll line them back up to begin the next 20-lap segment with a total of just the 50 laps completed.
Well, Larry, in the first race here in the showdown, we saw guys with the 20 laps on their tires. We saw Biffle stay out and didn't pit and ran 40 laps on his tires. So these guys only got 20 laps on theirs.
And I think the track even has more grip now because it's cooled down significantly.
Would there be an advantage to staying out right now?
As we said at the top of the show earlier, track position. I think Greg Biffle pretty much and Martin Truex Jr. proved that.
Pit road will be open this time, and we'll get that question answered. We are halfway through the Sprint All-Star race. 3 segments to go. 2 20-lap segments and a final 10-lap segments of green flag only racing.
This is what I love, though, the strategy. It's like all those little tangled minds down there just trying to figure out how to outsmart the other guy.
And especially yours.
Right. And if that's not enough, they'll have to do it again in 20 laps.
Okay. Who will come and who will go?
I'm going to be a monkey in this case.
The leaders are coming. Yes. Everybody's in. Dick Berggren.
Joey Logano doesn't like a loose race car. That's what he has tonight. So they're going to put 4 tires on it and a wedge adjustment, hoping that the next time there's a yellow flag, they won't have to stop. Matt.
The 2 slides to a stop. They were talking about right side tires only. Jimmy Johnson was told to pit close to the wall so they can go right side tires as well. Big track bar adjustment, Steve.
Well, Matt, the 18 discussed 2 tires, but they're going to go with 4. He's tight in the center, loose on throttle exit. So a track bar adjustment and a wedge adjustment to help Kyle Busch. He's also wanting some water.
Jimmy Johnson, Jamie McMurray, David Rudiman, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are the first 4 off pit road.
And the best I could tell, Rudiman, Johnson, Truex, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and possibly McMurray, 2 right side tires only.
That's right.
The plot thickens on Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is brought to you by Tornadoes. Bold is how we roll. By the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Put the fuel of NASCAR in your car. Halfway home, segment 1 complete in the Sprint All-Star Race. A lot of different strategies on pit road.
Yeah, but you know what? We've been talking about, Larry and Jeff and I, and about taking 4 right now, because what we saw in that first race, you can run 40 laps pretty darn good on these tires. So if a guy took 4 this time, Larry, what do you think? Stay out next time?
Well, those 7 cars that took just rights, if they try to do that or stay out, the next caution we have, they would have 65 laps on those left side tires. That's more than a fuel run.
Yeah, I think that's a little too much. But taking 4 right now, I think gives you a big option to either take 2 the next time or stay
none.
out.
Yeah, or none. Now, like in normal race conditions, the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, he will have his lane choice, if you might call it, when we get the 1 to go, outside or inside.
But how about the Busch brothers? Bumping and banging and pushing each other down the straightaway. Remember what happened here in 2007 between Kurt and Kyle Busch. I think Kyle then was in the Rick Hendrick number 5. There's Kurt in the gold deuce. Happy Thanksgiving.
Took all the way to Thanksgiving to straighten that mess out.
There was turkey involved in both incidences. Turkeys once and a turkey later.
So they will start 6th and 7th with Jimmy Johnson, your leader. Jamie McMurray, David Rudiman, Dale Earnhardt Jr. the way they came off pit road. Martin Truex 5th. Kurt and Kyle Busch, then Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Brad Keselowski the top 10. Mark Martin, Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon, Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards 15th. Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Bobby Labonte, and Casey Mears.
And based on what we've seen all night long, Jimmy Johnson, the 48, has chosen the outside for this restart.
No, watch these guys rim ride around the top. Go ahead and tell them about this segment, Mike.
Well, it's 20 laps. Once again, caution laps will count. And at the end of this segment, you have the choice whether or not to make a pit stop. Leader at the end of segment 2, pockets 25 grand.
We used to rim ride around here like you see these guys doing tonight. That used to be the way we got around this place. Then it all went to the bottom, and you had to hone that white line around here to go fast. But we're back up around the top again for speed now.
Kurt Busch, the leader at the end of segment 1. The only leader at the end of segment 1 in the last 14 All-Star races to win it all was Mark Martin in 2005. Here we go for 20 laps. Green flag.
David Rudiman, the 00, did not get a good restart at all.
A lot of times when you just take 2 tires, you get a little debris on your tires and you just can't get going on those restarts.
Martin Truex also had some difficulty. Backed up a few cars there.
That 2 car, he's going to move that wall sooner or later.
Well, he's put a new meaning to high, wide, and handsome as he gets up behind Dale Jr. battling for 3rd.
Yeah, he is inches all the way around the track, going down into 1.
Oh, Denny Hamlin just sliced to the bottom and almost took the nose off Kyle Busch's car.
But Denny Hamlin in at 11, right there behind Mark Martin in 5. He's working on trying to crack the top 5 here.
Busch to the bottom. Kurt, that is. Underneath Dale Jr. fighting for 3rd.
I like that 2 car, Larry. That thing is, it's running tonight, and he is driving the wheels off of it.
And he has 4 fresh tires from that last caution.
He made some time on his 4 tires. He took off.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88, as well as David Rudiman in the 00.
Whoa.
Martin in the 5, 2 tires only on that last caution.
Did Jr. get a bump from Rudiman?
Very good chance.
That car just took off. Dick Berggren.
David Rudiman in that 0-0, Mike, has got carburetor problems to the extent that they have asked NASCAR if they can change it on that late pit stop, and we have 10 minutes.
That's why he didn't take off. I guess the thing is stumbling on him. He needs to change the carburetor, but he's still running pretty darn good.
Now there was contact between Earnhardt and Rudiman. Watch the 88 and the 00.
Oh, that's casual. Very casual.
Well, I think I have an answer why that 88 car is backing up so bad. Lance McGrew brought him to pit road for fuel only. They took no tires on that 88.
Oh, my. That's an interesting strategy.
After 50 laps. Or 25 laps, because you did change at lap 25.
Four-car battle for 7th right here. Looking at Dale Jr. And for 2nd place, here comes Kurt Busch coming to turkey calling on Jamie McMurray.
He better call turkey in a hurry, because right now that 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, he's about 1.5 tenths faster than McMurray in the 1 or Kurt Busch in the 2.
I know this comes as a big surprise to everybody at home, but that 48 car is in the league of his own right now.
Right now he is.
Steve, how about Mark Martin in 4th?
Mikey was not real thrilled with his race car when this thing started, but the longer he ran, the better it got. In fact, he told Alan Gustafson it had gone from neutral to just a little bit loose. He likes it right now.
But the problem is, like you pointed out, Darrell, we have no more long runs.
That's it. You got to be good now in the short run.
Problems for Joey Logano.
Yeah, he just about hit the fence coming off the 2 that time.
That science project not working out. He was 4th at the break. He just fell to 15th. Let's show you what just happened to him off turn 2 to the number 20.
Let me get a little wake-up call right here. Whoa.
Carl Edwards in the 99.
See his hands. Look at his hands in there fighting that thing, hanging on to her.
He was one of the cars that took 4 tires on that caution.
Yeah, old Joey was just about a Logano then.
Tony Stewart right behind him in 15th.
And you know, he's sitting back there well back in the field, but he did win this race a year ago, and he really didn't show up till late in that race.
He's a late sleeper. Kurt Busch now has a mirror full of Mark Martin.
And Mark is Mark's fascinating, isn't he? He was running like 15th there for that first 50 lap segment, and all of a sudden here he is racing for top 5 here.
But as you can see, the whole race, that 2 car, Kurt Busch, just prevails so much off turn 2 running the high side.
It's like he's got passing gear in that 2 car.
And they're about to catch Jamie McMurray in the number 1. Chevy, Dodge, Chevy, Toyota at the front of the field.
I was going to say, if you look not far behind that 5 car, you'll see that Toyota you were talking about, Denny Hamlin, in that 11 car. He has now cracked the top 5 after starting in 20th after that engine change yesterday.
Hamlin in 5th. David Rudiman's Toyota in 6th, working the bottom of the racetrack.
Pit stop shook things up a little bit, Larry. Changed the complexion of who's got a good car and who doesn't, I can tell you that.
Yeah, because right behind David Rudiman, we're riding with Kyle Busch in the 18 car. Took 4 tires. He's kind of just stalled out there. Hadn't went anywhere.
3rd place battle.
Clear. 9 more next time by.
Yep, Mark Martin not able to pass Kurt Busch. 9 to go to the end of segment 2. Mark again comes calling on the bottom.
Yeah, he gets in good. He gets through the middle good on the bottom. But as you can see right there, Kurt Busch just pulls away from him in that 2 when they hit the straightaway because of the exit of the corner.
Like I told you about Jeff Burton, Mark Martin's old school. This is the way we've been running this thing here for quite some time. Right around that white line on the bottom. Just seems like there's a little bit more speed up high now and get off the corner better.
Now Jamie McMurray in 2nd is scooted away from them. Those 2 are 3 seconds behind the leader. And they're about to draw Denny Hamlin up to them as they run side by side.
No question. That 11 car is just reeling them in as they're going at it like this. We've got 8 laps until that next caution.
Hamlin's there.
Uh-oh.
And Busch went up too high, almost scraped the wall.
Yeah, I think he had to really check up, Mike. The car took off. He's running so close to the wall, he doesn't have any room for error.
So Denny Hamlin moves to 4th.
In that 11 car, he's running the bottom, and he gets a good run off the corner, even running the bottom.
Steve?
And Mike, it's interesting you guys say he's running the bottom. A few minutes ago, Denny Hamlin said, I'm fast. I just need to figure out where to run.
I think what he means by that is, do I need to run the bottom, which is where he is, and look how low he runs. He and Mark Martin both are below the white line in both in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Let's show you what happened to Kurt Busch when he lost that spot to Denny Hamlin.
The car just took off right down here. Oh, it got loose. Yeah, it jumped sideways with him.
I don't know. He may have just skimmed the wall. The biggest thing, the reason he lost all the ground is because the car got so loose.
Yeah, I don't think he hit anything. I looked at him when he went by. It looks clean.
Fastest car on the racetrack is Denny Hamlin. He's about half a tenth quicker than our leader, Jimmy Johnson, but Johnson has piled up a 2-second lead on Jamie McMurray with 5 laps to go now to the next competition caution.
Jimmy Johnson is now mirror driving. He just keep an eye on the guy behind him and keep a little gap between he and the guy behind him, and he'll ride on home.
And maybe take care of those tires right now. No reason to abuse them.
Wasn't that long ago Jimmy Johnson considers this track his house. He piled up a lot of victories here en route to 4 Sprint Cup championships consecutively.
Maybe that clank that I thought he heard, maybe it didn't happen as the way I thought it may have.
The joke was Kevin Harvick wondered where Jimmy Johnson had hidden that golden horseshoe, and the clank would have been
this horseshoe
when it was found.
Yes.
Now, DW, I think I have enough information on no tires that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has fallen all the way back to 17th, taking no tires on that last caution.
Well, in your immortal words, that science project didn't work out too good.
No, it didn't.
Close the book on that one.
That's right. We now know.
I mean, even to make 2 tires work, you have to have a pretty good handling race car.
And I think that 88 car was a little marginal to start with.
Kurt Busch has got company. David Rudiman, the 00 Toyota, and Kyle Busch in the number 18 Toyota, working on Kurt for 5th place. 2 laps to go to the competition yellow. And the end of segment 2 of 4 segments. Kyle's coming.
Yeah, well,
pass on Rudiman.
Now those 4 tires on the 18 are starting to pay off. Some of these 2-tire guys are starting to slow down a little bit.
Which would include David Rudiman, a 00 car.
2 quickest cars on the track this lap. Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano back in 10th.
Tell you what, Jamie McMurray, though, in that 1, he's keeping stride with that 48, well, but he's a little over 2 seconds behind our leader right now.
But he's been up there all night, Larry. In that first 50 lapper, he stayed right up there, and he's hanging tough right now. I think right now you hang tough. You don't know what might happen in these last segments.
70 laps complete, this time by, and as the field cycles through, the 2nd segment caution will wave, and brotherly love, here we go. This not Philadelphia here.
No, I think they're having fun though.
And even though they've completed lap 70, you heard the spotter tell them, keep going until you see the yellow, because that you won't freeze the field till then.
That may not be good news for Kurt. Going down the back, was Kyle is under him as they head down into 3rd turn.
Caution.
Didn't quite get there.
Caution's out.
Jimmy Johnson is a 2-time winner of the All-Star race, but he did not win a segment except the final one in either of those victories. This is his 4th segment win, not including his 2 overall victories.
Well, Mike, I got to tell you, just watching that car tonight, they're going to have to mess up somewhere in the pits or somewhere for him not to be. He's the guy to beat right now. No question about that.
That's the only thing that cost him the lead earlier was the problem on the right front.
Exactly.
Bobby Labonte gets the free pass on this caution. So at the end of this 20-lap run, the cars that took on 4 tires were really good, but gosh, it seemed like they paid the price early in this run.
Yeah, maybe you come get 2 this time. where the other guys have got to get 4. Now you can get your 2, get your track position back.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Johnson, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, Kurt Busch, 4 of the top 5 that got 4 that last time. I think they can roll the dice and get those 2 right sides.
Jeff Hammond, how many tires you want?
If my car is struggling like I've seen everybody do, I'm coming to get me 4, and I'm going to work on that thing, Mike, because I've only got one more shot at getting this car dialed in and get myself back in the race. We've already seen what Jimmy's got, and he's got a lot, and I've got to get to him.
Got to wonder, with 20 more laps to run, then everybody gets 10.
Somebody's staying
gets
out.
4 tires.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Oh,
whoa!
All kinds
Dart
of cat
and
mouse
dive,
games
and that's
going
it.
out there.
Well, who stayed out, Larry?
The 48 stayed out. The one.
The guys with the 4 tires stayed out.
Well, David Ruderman stayed out and changed 2 the last time.
Interesting. Matt?
And the 2 of Kurt Busch, his car, as you can see from the video, extremely loose from the center of the corner to exit. Going to make an air pressure change, and he's away. Right side tires only.
And is Kurt Busch going to win this race off pit road? He is. Followed by Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex, and Greg Biffle. But at the head of the field, 7 drivers did not pit.
What a tangled web.
It just gets more and more interesting.
Silly man.
2 segments of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race are in the books. Kurt Busch led the first, Jimmy Johnson led the second, and then a lot of different strategies as to whether to pit. Gas only, 2 tires, 4 tires. We saw a little bit of everything. How about tonight's Tornadoes' bold move of the race? Kevin Mannion and Jamie
Stay out here. Totally? Totally. For sure. Yep.
Tornadoes, bold is how we roll.
Well, that's a driver that says, are you kidding me? They think that's a good idea.
7 cars stayed out.
Now we're getting a report that Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, remember, hit the wall on lap 1. They're trying to adjust the toe out on that car, which is the setting of the 2 front wheels, the differential between the front and the rear, which makes the car get in the corner good.
Let's go.
He'll fool around and get that thing tuned up for that shootout, man.
Now, one of the drivers that stayed out was a bit of a miscue. Mark Martin, when he saw the 2 cars ahead of him swerve to the right, Alan Gustafson wanted him to pit, but when he saw them swerve, thought pit road was closed, went with them, stayed on the racetrack.
But I don't think that's bad, because you've got 7 cars that stayed out. You've got Brad Keselowski in the 12 car that Jay Guy brought him to pit road for fuel only, and then you've got a lot of cars like Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr. that did 2 tires only. So I don't know that miscue might not end up being okay.
So if you only took fuel, then does that mean that maybe you're planning on staying out this next time?
No, you won't stay out the next time, because
that's
it's a 10-minute
mandatory break.
Yeah.
That's right.
It tells me they didn't put fuel in the last time. Maybe.
That's Roger.
Getting ready for the restart, and before it happens, Sprint brings you an inside look at what's happening now inside the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Up 16 spots, our biggest mover, Denny Hamlin. And the fastest lap of the race, turned in by Kurt Busch, 29.51 seconds. For more, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed.
Just remember, Larry, that the 24 car ran out of fuel over here one year.
You warm in here.
Trying to keep it low.
Tomorrow, live from Charlotte, don't miss an epic television event. Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr., Richard Petty, Junior Johnson, and Dale Earnhardt rightfully take their place as the first inductees to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Live coverage tomorrow, noon Eastern, exclusively on Speed.
Need to clean up one piece of business. Brad Keselowski, they did get 2 right side tires and fuel.
So we move to segment 3. Again, 20 laps. Caution laps count. And the leader at the end of this segment, $125,000. Jimmy Johnson has elected the outside lane. And here we go. 20 laps. Waiting. Green flag.
Really anxious to watch this 11 car.
Well, that 11 car was laying into the back of the 48. I think he had his wheels off the ground.
And looked like McMurray was almost going to take advantage of it in one car, but Johnson gets that run on the high side.
Whoa, somebody's
Backed
stacking up
Yeah,
on the outside. A lot of action there, and here comes Logano.
Looked like
from the middle of that pack.
18 car had trouble over there.
But
Second
look at Mark
place.
Martin in that 5 car, drives to the bottom. He wants second spot for McMurray in the 1.
Oh, he's going to have to work hard to get it.
McMurray second, Martin, and a fast closing Denny Hamlin in the 11th. Then his teammate Joey Logano and his teammate Kyle Busch, and a lot of double wide back here in the pack.
Boy, Mark can just get through the center of 3 and 4 so good on the bottom, but he just can't carry the speed off the corner. Now he's going to lose his spot. The 11 car is there.
Boy, Hamlin is flying.
Boy, he is. His car has got it where it needs it, baby. That's up off that corner right there. Watch this.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin just ran the fastest lap that he's run of this race so far there on lap 72.
This all happens well behind Jimmy Johnson. Nobody rolls the center of the corner here better than Jimmy.
2 car was wearing the wall out there that time. He got the whole right side.
That's ugly. Is the right rear down?
No, I'm not sure, but he's been flirting with this thing all night long. Finally gets in it and can't get out of it.
Tough break for Kurt Busch.
Wall's like a big old magnet. When it gets hold of you, it won't let go of you.
Now for third place, Mark Martin and Jamie McMurray. Not done yet here. Brad Keselowski closing on them with Joey Logano.
But the thing about Brad Keselowski in that black 12 car, Dick Bergman was telling me he did get 2 right side tires. He's racing cars that did not pit that last time.
Keselowski in the number 12 Dodge against the Toyota of Logano. And look at Kyle Busch close in along with Greg Biffle on those 2.
Yeah, our 2 guys that transferred from that showdown, they've cracked the top 10. Greg Biffle in that 16 car, and a couple of cars behind him, Martin Truex Jr. in the 56 and 10th right now.
Yeah, Truex has done a pretty good job, but I think the 2 is in big trouble, Larry.
I think he's been in it again, Darrell.
Yeah, I think he's lost a handle now. He's done so much damage to the car.
Yeah, I think you hit the mark there, Darrell, that you can't flirt with it that much and not eventually get it.
He's just been he's been everything but hitting, and he finally did hit it.
Teammates, Busch and Logano. This is side by side for 6th.
Clear, man. Clear.
There's no question about when you can run the bottom, it's the quickest way around here, but it's the most difficult way around here too right now.
McMurray on the high side. Keselowski underneath. 4th place.
You got to love it, Larry. I mean, where did Keselowski come from? All in pit strategy, and there he is.
The Budweiser Ford's been in the wall. Casey Kane. And let's see the aerial view of what happens to Casey here.
Just gets, like I said, it's like a magnet. The thing gets a hold of you, won't let go of you.
He got to watching that other beer car.
He did.
Followed suit.
I think the vortex got a hold of him.
Carl Edwards passing Kane on the bottom. And that's back at 13th place.
I mean, right now, though, guys, this one you're going to let it all hang out.
You let the rough side drag, Darrell. There's plenty of rough sides out there.
Here goes the 18, and I think if he can clear up, not quite. 18's starting to make a little noise, though, working his way back toward the front.
This is at 5th place. And they're about 4.5 seconds behind Jimmy Johnson.
Whoa! Boy, that 18 car snapped loose right on corner exit.
And while those guys been going at it, it has brought Joey Logano and that 20 car back into the mix.
The longer the run, the better his car likes it.
Watch this little racing action right here. He's trying to slide up in front of the 1 car. And he snapped loose right at the end and kept it off the wall. Don't know how, Steve.
Well, Darrell, right before that, Kyle said, guys, I have no right rear tire. I'm loose off.
Remember, he's one of those cars that did not stop that last caution. but he's got to make it for 10 more laps, and we'll get that 10-minute break.
And remember, the rule on that break has changed. You cannot change tires during the 10-minute final break.
Yeah, you got to believe, though, Larry, if your car's that good on no tires, when you throw some tires on that bad boy, you might have something for them.
Get after it for 10 green flag laps.
But I don't know if he could put enough tires on any of these cars to keep up with that 48 car. He is out of here.
Yeah, he's running 30.49 the last lap, and the closest thing to him is Denny Hamlin, 30.56 in the 11.
He came over here loaded for bear. I know that.
9 more laps.
These other guys are hunting turkeys. He's hunting bears.
Two of the quicker cars on track are Joey Logano and Greg Biffle. David Rudiman, Martin Truex. The rest of that top 10 moving toward the front.
And I think this makes a big statement about this 48 car. Won 3 of the first 5 races, but they have not won a race since we went away from the wing to the conventional rear spoiler. So I think this has to make this group feel pretty good the way they're running.
And Larry, they claim that has not been the problem. And you think about it, they've had some pretty good runs with the spoiler on the car. So tonight, I think they're making a big statement.
Look your temps for me, dude.
7 laps.
205, 230.
To the end of this segment, and Jimmy sounds like he's out there for just a cruise.
But Chad Knaus, you see him, the crew chief, trying to gain as much information from him as he can, because what Chad would love to do for those final 10 laps, put a little more tape on that nose to help the front downforce and reduce the drag for 10 laps.
Johnson, up by 2 seconds, is still the quickest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, he just consistently got a 10th in the bank, maybe more when he needs it. I tell you, when he impressed me, when they had that problem on a pit stop and he was able to chase the leaders down from about 3.5 seconds back, that told me how fast he was.
You know, we talked about a guy that had been right up there in the top 5, top 2 or 3 all night long, and it just looked like Jamie McMurray in the 1 car is paying the price for not changing tires. He has slid back to 7th right now, over 7 seconds behind leader Jimmy Johnson in the 48. What the car really prevailing in this segment, though, we talked about him a minute ago, is Brad Keselowski in that 12 car. He has now made his way up to the 4th position.
Pretty impressed with Mark Martin too, Larry. He's sitting there and he's getting himself in a pretty good position here for this final 10 laps.
Yeah, that accidental strategy of theirs of Martin staying out because he thought the pits were closed is paying off well. He's the 3rd place car.
And we felt like he had enough friends that stayed out with him that it would be okay.
I don't think people realize what an incredible job Goodyear has done this year, particularly with the new tires that they brought to the racetrack.
Good point.
The tires are fast, they don't fall off, they don't wear out.
The drivers like them.
And everybody's happy.
8th place, Greg Biffle taking his Ford past the Toyota of David Rudiman. And Rudiman trying to pass him right back.
You know,
2 more laps.
I can't help but think, though, as we watch this battle right here for the 8th position, Denny Hamlin in that 11 car running 2nd. We're gonna have that 10-minute break, and then we're gonna go back under caution how you finish this segment here. And then all cars will come to pit road for a 4-tire stop under caution. Remember, by virtue of that pit crew winning that pit crew challenge Wednesday night, they got that premium pit spot leaving pit road at the exit.
Hamlin, with that stop, could be well poised to grab the lead from Jimmy Johnson.
Tell you what I've said up here for the last 10 years. I don't think I've ever heard engines sound as neat as it. These things are, they're turning 9,500 RPM, and they are flying around this racetrack.
Yes, they are.
Ryan Newman in the 39, Dale Jr. in the 88, 16th place. They continue to battle. And in another lap, they'll take the final competition caution of the night and get ready for the final 10-lap segment. If Jimmy Johnson comes around to the flag and leads this segment, it'll put Johnson over the $4 million mark in career All-Star earnings.
Just riding with Casey Kane in that 9 car, hit the wall about 10 laps ago. He's about to go a lap down, but regardless, he would still get the free pass because he would be the only car a lap down right now.
So at the end of this segment, Jimmie Johnson is still one of the 3 fastest cars on the racetrack. And they'll slow him down. They'll head for pit road. And a 10-minute break. Chance to work on the cars, except changing tires. In fact, if you take off a wheel to check something, the NASCAR official will watch you torque it back on.
Been watching this double-zero car. He's great through the corners, flies through the corners, but he dies on the straightaway. And I think they've got a carburetor problem with this car.
Remember, Dick Bergman told me they had a carburetor problem.
Get down on the flat. Get down on the flat.
Jimmie Johnson leads segment 3 and picks up the $125,000 bonus for doing so. We'll be right back.
Hey, for anybody who's watching, the 48 can do whatever he wants.
Well, that pretty well sums it up. That was Kyle Busch talking about Jimmie Johnson, who has led at the end of 2 of the 3 segments tonight. 3 leaders, 4 lead changes, and we're in the 10-minute break between the 3rd and final 10-lap green flag only go for broke segment.
Think about it. This is really the first time these guys has had a real chance to adjust on these race cars.
Yeah, but if I'm all those other guys, the only way you're going to beat that 48 car is you got to get him right on the get-go.
Exactly what we talked about. You see Denny Hamlin out of his car, but you saw the 48 team maybe add a little tape to that nose of that car.
Yeah, that's a little wee bit. Just tuning on her a little.
Looks like the 11
more there,
crew may be doing the same thing. That'll help the front wheels grip, and it helps the drag down the straightaway.
All right, drivers debriefing with their crew chiefs, and Brad Keselowski's ready to talk to Dick Bergman.
Indeed he is. They say your power steering is overheating. What does the car steer like?
Terrible. It's terrible. It'll last for about 8 laps and it goes away. So.
Oh man.
How tough you going to be?
Well, I'm pretty worn out already, but this is what I get paid to do. So it's time to man up and get to work. But you know, our Dodge Charger is awesome on a short run. So glad this last run's 10 laps. Don't know if I got something for Jimmy, but I'm gonna give him all I got, and he's gonna know I'm there.
When he pulled in, the driver asked for a fan. They put them all on the power steering instead.
Thanks, Dick. Everybody on pit road where they can do anything they could do on a normal pit stop except change tires. Let's hear from the leader with Matt Yoakum.
Another segment win by Jimmie Johnson. So Kyle Busch was fouling you, and he said if anybody's noticing, the 48 can do whatever he wants. So if this car is where it is so good, anything else you can do to make it even better for the final run for the money?
Man, this thing's terrible. I can't get anything done.
I heard the anchor clang, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, I know. I just hope we can find some speed. You know, it's just guys are working hard though. I think we're all right.
So as far as this event for the folks at home, this final run to the money, how exciting is this going to be?
It has the potential to be very, very exciting. There's just no telling. I mean, I feel good about what we've done so far, but with 10-lap shootout, the best guys in the business, $1 million on the line, make sure my belts are good and tight, because there's no telling what's going to happen.
All right, good luck.
Right on.
Dick?
On pit road, Joey, a lot of mechanics are underneath the back of the car. What are they doing?
We got a little bit of damage back there. No big deal. Home Depot Toyota is pretty good. We just started the race too loose. I couldn't get the throttle down and exit, getting murdered off the corner. I'd roll through the center like nobody's business, so it was really good. Just couldn't get the gas down. So we focused on getting it tighter and tighter. I feel like we got it pretty close. So I think we need to go just a little bit more to take off better. We still don't take off that good. Just the long haul towards the middle of the run, we're pretty good. So we don't have time for middle of the run here. We got to get it right off the bat here. So we're going to snug her up a little bit and make it secure enough that you can drive it hard and not worry about you know, spinning yourself out and just, you know, drive the heck out of it pretty much.
It's going to be hard on the gas. Steve.
And Dick, Denny Hamlin getting some final thoughts in with Mike Ford. Denny, I heard you say the car was fast. It's showtime right now. You figured out a way to beat the 48?
I think we know how. It's just a matter of whether we do or not. We'll see if we can get our car fast enough right here on the short go. It's this pit stop is going to be very critical.
All right, good luck. Thank you, Denny.
Thanks.
Well, we've heard you got a man up. We've heard you're going to stagger up. You're ready to go.
I think the big thing is just what he just said, though. That pit stop.
That's going to be the deal.
4 tires for everybody when we go back under caution.
David Rudiman gets a new carburetor for his 00 Toyota during the 10-minute break on the way to the final segment of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is brought to you by Sprint, the Now Network, by Burger King. BK is letting you sign Tony Stewart's actual hood for Daytona. Go to bksignandrace.com for details. And by Toyota.
3 of the 4 segments are in the book. Now it's all down to a 10-lap shootout. So how have we gotten to where we are, and who has the best shot? Well, let's show you some highlights. Segment 1, Jeff Gordon, a 3-time winner of this race, hits the wall hard very early, Jeff.
Yeah, he does. He had damages to 24. Not much noise out of him, but talking about racing on the racetrack, look at the race off of pit road. The 5 of Mark Martin, Casey Mears in 83, and Casey Kane the 9. I mean, they're beating and banging like, hey, it's the last lap.
Well, you said they were going to do that right off the bat. What about the brothers Busch? Kyle Busch out front. Oh, not for long. Older brother Kurt says, move over, my turn.
Yep, he wins the first segment right there, but hey, Jimmy Johnson lost the lead off the pit road, but he got it back, started the second segment.
Well, you mentioned that Kurt Busch won segment 1, Jimmy Johnson won segment 2, and dominated segment 3. But look at, that's your guy, Denny Hamlin. You said he was going to be strong.
Hey, he started in the back because of an engine change, but he made his way to the front.
That's right. Denny Hamlin looking really good. But this is where it really got interesting, Jeff.
Hey,
what happened here?
Follow me. Oh, a little fake out right there. Jimmy Johnson elects to stay out in that third segment. And guess what, Krista? And he showed him the way.
Yeah, it has been all Johnson in the third segment. He has led every lap of that 20-lap segment.
But my guy, Denny Hamlin, came in second. He's closing.
That's right. And Matt Yoakum actually caught up with Jamie McMurray, also having a strong run.
And Jamie McMurray looks stellar at different points. What are you going to do to this race car to get it back to the good side?
Well, we were a little loose one round, a little tight the next round. It's, track position's really important, and we just had to have a good pit stop here. And they're going to put a little tape on the front. I think pull a little bit of shim out of the bump stops. Just really try to max the car out and see, if we can put some grip in it for the 10 laps. We got a really good car. Bass Pro Shops actually donated the back of the car to the National Wild Turkey Federation, and I got to go meet with a lot of the members today. So it's been a really exciting day, and actually Johnny Morris from Bass Pro is standing over there. So we certainly like to get to victory lane with him.
All right, Jamie McMurray having a strong run, as we said as well. But right now, Jimmy Johnson out front, Denny Hamlin following, only 10 laps to get the job done.
But you forget something.
I always do.
We have a 4-tire pit stop. I mean, this is really where it's going to be settled. We've seen track position be so important tonight. When Jimmy Johnson's out front, he's been able to win. When Kurt Busch was out front, he was able to win. So who can get off a pit road and get track position? Well, they've got, I think, the upper hand over the final 10 laps. And guess what? The number 11 crew, who won the All-Star Pit Crew competition on Wednesday night, they're in second place, but they've got the best pit stall going against the guys who have pretty much dominated here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the 48 car Jimmy Johnson. I think that's going to be a great battle between those two cars. And don't forget the other guys. Everybody's got to take 4 tires.
Well, earlier in the race, Johnson's crew, they've already had a pit road miscue. So will that come back to haunt them, or will they turn in under fire?
We're going to find out who can handle the pressure right now. That's going to be, I think, the key. Will Jimmy Johnson and the 48 crew, can they rebound? They made a mistake a week ago. They made a mistake earlier tonight. And so far, the 11 crew, they've been flawless.
All right, well, pit road's going to be closed this time around. Remember, they haven't been able to change tires yet. When they do make this pit stop, they'll be able to change a 4-tire change. Will anybody go for 2? They got to go 4.
It's got to be 4. 4-tire mandatory stop.
4-tire mandatory stop. That's what's coming. And then a 10-lap shootout to the finish. Jimmy Johnson was joking so much, he said they have nothing to worry about. He said, I think we're all right. Denny Hamlin followed by saying, we know how to beat them.
You want to hear some drivers be cheerleaders? You wait when they get ready to come down pit road. Come on, guys, give me 4 the fastest way you can.
This is what it's all about. This is what we've been waiting for. Mike, Larry, Darrell?
So right now, the teams are lined up the way they completed the 3rd segment, with Jimmy Johnson in front of Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, and the rest of the field. They'll come around one more time, come to pit road for a 4-tire change, and however they lead pit road, that's how they line up for the final segment.
And it'll be unique pit stops. You can still use 7 men, but gas men are not going to be involved. So I think what you'll see these guys do is use 2 tire carriers per end. One guy to take the tire off, one guy to put the tire on. I saw a lot of these guys practicing this technique right here without the fuel, man. You can still use the 7 guys.
Guarantee you they got a strategy. They figured this one out right here. They know what they're up against. This is for the $1 million.
And as we talked about on qualifying night, leaving the pits could be problematic with the left side tires on concrete, the right side's on asphalt for a while. There's a danger of damage, maybe not as much as there would be when you were the only car on pit road during the All-Star race. So a quick cut out of the pits, back onto the asphalt, find your spot in line. Hopefully everything's fine.
And you know, we've been talking about the pit selection. The way the pits were selected throughout the entire field, with the exception of the guys that transferred, was by how they finished in the pit crew challenge. The 48 group went out early. They do not have that good of pit selection about a third of the way down pit road as you come in.
Well, boys, this is what it's all about.
Yep, it's time for the pit crews to shine.
This is when you want everybody involved, and you got it.
Green light on pit road. Jimmy Johnson will lead them down for the final stop of the night. Here they come. Let's go to Dick Bergman.
Brad Keselowski will pit out of the 4th position. 4 of the over-the-wall men here have college football experience, athletes all.
The 40, Jimmy Johnson hits his box. Now he had an easy entry, no problem there. He will probably have to go around the 9 of Casey Kane to Steve.
Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin, both on pit road. This is it, the clutch stop, last stop of the night. Denny Hamlin with pit stall number 1. Mark Martin about 4 stalls back. Left side tires going on for Denny Hamlin. And it's a drag race with Kyle Busch.
I'm going to tell you what, that 18 group, I think they won this battle off pit road. They were on it with that 4-tire stop.
They did, Larry. That was a great stop. Oh, my.
In fact, all the Joe Gibbs teams had great stops. The Logano 20 car had a great pit stop.
Here's the race off pit road. Hamlin closest to the camera, then Busch, then Jimmy Johnson.
Well, that pit selection won that battle right there. There's no question.
That 11 bunch, right now they're saying, "Oh shucks, we just won $1 million."
So as they line back up behind the Toyota pace car, it's Denny Hamlin, his teammate Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson now 3rd, Mark Martin 4th, Joey Logano 5th. All 3 Gibbs cars in the top 5. Keselowski, Rudeman, McMurray, Biffle, and Truex the top 10. Kurt Busch, Harvick, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, Casey Mears, Bobby Labonte, and Casey Kane.
Now we anticipate probably Denny Hamlin, the 11. He has the choice that he'll probably choose the outside, which will put his teammate Kyle Busch to the inside. Jimmy Johnson, the 48, will not have a choice. He has to start on the inside.
You know what, Larry? I think we'll see the 11 take the bottom because he has been so bad fast on the bottom. I think it's going to play out just right for Jimmy Johnson. He's pretty good on the bottom too. The 18's good on the outside. I believe Hamlin may stick to that bottom because he's been so good there.
We're set for the final segment now. 10 laps. Only green flag laps count.
Wow, look at that. For tonight, just for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, $1,028,309.
And it's all on this 10 laps if you want to really put it into perspective, over $100,000 a lap.
And I don't even know they don't even put what second place because nobody pays, nobody cares. How many games you've been to, how many sporting events you've been to when one game pays $1 million?
At the front of the field, Denny Hamlin. In the last 7 Sprint Cup races, he's been to victory lane 3 times. Right on his bumper, Kyle Busch, who has won 3 top-level NASCAR races in the last 7 days. Cup, Nationwide, and Trucks. And in 3rd, Jimmy Johnson. winless in those last 7.
And we have 3 Joe Gibbs cars in the top 5. Joe Gibbs Racing has never won the Sprint All-Star Challenge before.
But they have won 5 out of the last 7 races.
Yes, they have.
And they are on a roll, and they are in the front. Now, what I would be doing if I was Joe Gibbs, I'd get that little grandson of his over there praying that they don't wreck each other going off in the first turn down here.
Was that not the best indication ever?
That's the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
Gibbs.
Now, Darrell, it looks like Denny Hamlin in 11 did choose that high line, which is what we saw Jimmy Johnson do to start the 2nd and the 3rd segment.
Little surprised. Really don't think I want Kyle Busch on my inside going in the first turn. He better get a great restart.
You're watching live coverage of the Sprint All-Star Race, and coming up next on Speed, NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, to break down Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night.
This will be 10 green laps, and we do have the opportunity of 3 attempts at the green-white checker.
How many do you think we're going to get?
That's pretty optimistic right there.
All right.
But folks, this is what this night is all about. Building up to this moment. This is the strategy. Everybody's done everything they can do. These cars are ready to knock the fire out of each other if they have to. This is when, if you're going to crash it, this is when you crash it.
Cash or crash, checkers or wreckers, 10 laps to go, $1 million plus to the winner.
I don't know if I told you this earlier. You might want to reach up there and pull your belts tight.
One more time.
Okay, Larry.
Denny Hamlin brings him off turn number 4. Kyle Busch alongside. Green flag. Here we go.
Boy, Joey Logano in the 20 took a look at the inside.
Mark Martin around. Martin gets hit and turned. Stewart tags him. Spins up to the wall. Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Jamie McMurray, and more.
I think 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars were involved there.
Ooh, I got tore up.
Yes. Damage to the front end of Dale Jr.'s car.
Tony Stewart, the 14 involved.
A little left rear damage. Jeff Gordon torn up.
I think you'll see what happens. It's pretty clear. I think the 20 gets in the grass because he's trying to get underneath of Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car here. He just kind of runs out of room. Jimmy blocks him off right there. And when he does, he gets just a little wee bit loose and drives over into Mark Martin, and it's on from there.
I'm not sure that the 1 car maybe got into the back of Mark just a little bit, got him a little sideways too, possibly when they stacked up. Carl Edwards, the 99 involved.
Yeah, I think even before Joey Logano made contact with somebody, Mark Martin had gotten jacked up.
Let's see what happens here. You see the 20 car, the orange car, jump out of line, and there he's already in the grass, and that's wet and muddy right there.
Yep.
And I think that, I don't know who jacked up who, but that really is what started the whole thing.
It's like as Mark was making that turn out of that part of the quad oval, the 1 car got into the back of him and jacked him up a little bit.
Ride with Tony Stewart.
We got a Spaniard. Stay left, stay left.
Excuse me.
Inside, one inside.
Kurt Busch.
Watch him. Clear high. Keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. Clear. Awesome work. Caution's out.
This is Tony Stewart.
We got a Spaniard. Stay left, stay left.
Mark took a hard hit from the 0-0 of Rudeman. And I think Rudeman was even in the grass.
Stewart has made it back to pit road. So has Dale Earnhardt Jr.
About half the field was involved in that.
Yep.
The sparks fly, and here's Steve.
Mike, Denny Hamlin is a little frustrated right now. He just told Mike Ford, he said, I spun my tires on the restart. I've been having a hard time getting going all night.
Yep.
Well, he was in the outside. Could that have backed the field up a little bit? That didn't cause the accident, but it sure got everybody a little out of shape.
I hate the restarts over here. Every time I come over here, I say, watch the restarts, watch the restarts. And we have this happen almost inevitably on a restart.
A lot of damage to Casey Kane's Ford. Casey Mears on pit road along with Ryan Newman, Bobby Labonte, and Casey Kane.
Yeah, I think we only actually have about 9 or 10 cars out there that does not have some damage.
Let's look at the aerial view.
See, the 1 car McMurray gets into the left rear quarter panel just a little bit of that 5 car.
And it looks like McMurray's going to be home free here, Larry. He's getting down, he's going, and all of a sudden somebody slides up in front of him. That's exactly what happened. The one car did get into the back of the 5.
Murray gets in the 5. Edwards gets into McMurray, Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, everybody involved. Here's Logano's view.
I think Jimmy Johnson got into the 5. You hear the 20 car off in the grass.
And from Jeff Gordon.
My goodness.
Wrong place, wrong time for Jeff Gordon.
Now let's watch. Here's the Mark's just got a little bit of a wiggle going on there before he ever gets hit, and then he gets hit a couple of times. Once by the 1, and then then the 20 car comes up out of the grass and gets him good.
But Darrell, I think the reason the 1 car got into the back of Mark Martin, the 5, it looks like Kurt Busch and the 2 got into the back of him and shoved him ahead.
To make it short, everybody ran all over top of everybody. And the biggest and only incident of the night has just happened. First big pileup of the night takes half the field to either pit road or the garage. Denny Hamlin will get the lead spot back because we did not complete a lap under green. We still have 10 laps to go. So once again, it'll be Hamlin and Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson and Joey Logano. Then Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, Biffle, Truex, Harvick, and Kenseth will be the top 10.
So honestly, Denny Hamlin, at the expense of a lot of tore-up race cars, got a gift there because he had already given up 2 spots by the time they got to turn 1 because he said he spun the tires on the restart.
Right. Well, we keep hearing, you know, he said, we heard his radio transmission there saying, I've had trouble all night long. And certainly when you're back in the field, you don't notice it as much as you do when you're the leader of the race. And I think that's really what started this whole mess.
Mark Martin checked and released at the infield care center after a grinding crash. If Mark hadn't gotten a little jacked up by the number 1, and if Joey hadn't come through the grass and gone sliding, maybe none of this would have happened. Dick?
How wild a ride was that, Mark?
It was pretty wild. I've had wilder, but you know, that's as wild as I care for. I just want to thank the Delphi team, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. What a privilege to have a shot at it, and we were in position to have a chance. And I don't know exactly what happened there, but I don't know. We didn't get the best start, but it was okay. And then the 20 kind of swerved up into us there, and it was just a wad. I don't know what happened.
And he was just watching a replay as he talked to you about what happened on the racetrack. Wish you well next time. You know, a car that just snuck through there, I just saw that for the first time, was that yellow 29 car of Kevin Harvick.
Mr. Where did he come from?
I mean, every week.
Looks like 16 cars will take the green flag for this restart with 10 laps to go. And the only driver in the top 8 positions who has won the All-Star race is Jimmy Johnson.
And it looks like the 11, Larry, he's going to take that outside again. I'm just not sure about that for him.
You're right. You know, we saw it certainly prevail for Kurt Busch earlier in the 2, the 48 car Jimmy Johnson. You know, you're banking on getting through 1 and 2 good and getting that run on the high side.
And yes, the rule says you have to stay in line till you get to that start-finish line, and Joey Logano was that close.
Oh, he was pushing it. He was pushing
close.
But everybody bottled up a little in front of him. That's why he went down there.
Can Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch win it, or Jimmy Johnson or Joey Logano or somebody else? 10 laps to go. Let's find out. Green flag.
Hamlin spun him again, Larry. Same thing. Saw the car get a little tail happy on that restart.
There goes Jimmy Johnson in that 48, pushing Kyle Busch in that 18. Kyle Busch trying to get the run. Car real loose on the bottom.
Yeah.
Wow, did Hamlin get off turn 2?
That's what he needed right there. That high line has worked out for him, but I was sure nervous for him.
Kurt Busch back in play in 4th place.
After hitting the wall twice.
Keselowski 5th. Roger Penske with only 1 win in the All-Star race. That was Ryan Newman.
Denny Hamlin's best friend right now is his teammate Kyle Busch in that 18 if he can keep that 48 pinned to the bottom.
Oh, I think he can do that for a little bit here, and if Hamlin can get a run and get away from these guys. But look at them, even side by side, they're staying pace, keeping pace with the 11 car. Matter of fact, they're closing, Larry. They're catching him back now.
They flew through the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Kyle Busch.
Side corner, clear, clear.
Kyle looking for the lead, 8 laps away from $1 million.
Hamlin is good on the bottom, but that 18 is good on the top, and he blocks him. Oh, he put a block on him.
He put him in the wall.
He put him in the wall.
But he's not going to quit, but here comes the 48 and the 2 of Kurt Busch.
Oh, man.
And Logano.
And he thought his brother was rough on him.
And Hamlin almost gets the wall. Here comes Kurt Busch for the lead.
7 more, Kurt. Let's get it, baby.
How about that?
Leaderboard's the 2.
Johnson for second against Hamlin.
Boy, Kurt Busch just flew through 3 and 4 that last time, but here comes Johnson back in that 48 car.
Once they get singled out, Larry, the 48s, he'll get them. I guarantee. He is bad. He's just too fast not to be able to.
Kurt Busch went from 5th to 1st in 1 lap.
Now, we saw how great Kurt Busch's car was on the high side earlier. That's what got him in the wall. He went through 3 and 4 that time, hugging that white line.
All that body damage, they got it fixed.
That 10-minute break was their best friend.
It was. And I'm telling you what, I'm amazed is he is opening a little bit of gap on that 48 car.
Kurt Busch has never won a NASCAR special event, a Budweiser shootout, or a Sprint All-Star race.
Boy, I tell you right now, he is in the front. He's got clean air, and he is using that bottom to his advantage. He is checking out.
All clear. 5 to go right here, man. 5 to go. He's 5 back and working the top in 1 and 2.
Hamlin 3rd, Kyle Busch 4th against Logano. Truex 6th, Kenseth, Newman, Harvick, and Kane the top 10.
The 48, Jimmy Johnson works the high side, but he makes up no ground.
He can't catch him, Larry. He just can't. The 2 car is too good. I didn't believe it, but he is.
Casey Mears has hit the wall. Bring his Toyota pit side.
Timmy Johnson has dominated his whole night.
8 back.
And the banged up, beat up, vortex looking 2 car is driving away from him.
Yeah, he just beat Jimmy Johnson that lap there by 2/10. There'll be 3 to go next time.
Kurt Busch letting the rough side drag. May be on his way to his first Sprint All-Star race win. 3rd place behind Busch and Johnson. 3rd place changes hands. Joey Logano moves up past his teammate Denny Hamlin.
I am so shocked. I didn't think anybody had anything for that 48 car.
But every time he has led the All-Star race before that last segment, he doesn't win it.
Mark that down, will you? Remind me of that next year.
And I mean, right now, they'll be coming to 2 to go. That 2 car of Kurt Busch is just driving away. I'm going to tell you what, Logano in that 20 car is coming up on that 48 of Johnson.
And that would be for
2 more
second.
solid
And
laps, bud.
what do we say about second?
No pressure.
But I'm sure Logano would take second.
we won't remember who runs second next year.
Car in the wall, 2 of them hard, turn 1. And it's Casey Kane and Kyle Busch.
Ooh, I believe the 18 got into that wall. When he got in the wall over there, in the 11 car, it must have cut a tire down. Boy, that
heavy damage.
This changes everything.
Everything.
This is going to be a very unhappy young man right here, by the way. Not because of this, but because of his teammate.
Just drive back to the truck.
You know that old saw about don't bring back anything but the steering wheel? That might be all that's left.
The thing is
all right.
beat up like a pretzel.
And he makes it to pit road without further incident. Hardly anything holding that right front on.
Keep your composure here. We got a championship to win.
That's good advice from Dave Rogers.
Yep. Kyle Busch is out of the Sprint All-Star race. Casey Kane trying to nurse his battered Ford to the garage.
Man, it's a $1 million demolition derby, Larry.
Here's what happened.
I think that right front tire just finally went down.
It finally blew, and the 9 car was just in the wrong place. Ooh.
It was the right side window.
Yeah.
And the back wheels of Casey's car came off the ground.
Well, that 18, that thing blows a tire right there, and he clips the back of Casey Kane. Parts flying everywhere.
That's one of the fastest parts of this racetrack.
You never realize how fast you're going right there.
2 laps to go, 2 to go. Oh, man. You all right, bud?
Kyle Busch heads into the hauler. Steve Burns.
And Mike, listening to Kyle Busch on the radio, what he's mad about, you heard Dave Rogers say keep your composure. He's angry at Denny Hamlin. He said Denny Hamlin cut him off.
He did.
Yeah, that was the first contact with the wall that Kyle Busch had was from Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to be happy with his teammate, because that's what created this whole mess.
There's Kyle Busch climbing out.
That's
and
actually
walking.
the 11 hauler he's walking up into.
Kyle.
Now here's the first incident. This is under green.
Yeah, he's got a run right here, and he's up there. That's not as bad as I thought when I first saw that. I think maybe what happened there was he lost some air off the nose of his car, and the car pushed up.
But that right there is what gave Kurt Busch such a huge run when everybody kind of checked up with that going on.
See what happens right here. Boom. Yeah, I can't say I don't see any. I don't see that the 11. I thought the 11 had put him into the wall. I'm not so sure about that one. This is just agony right here. This is just a little more misery for your evening.
And Casey Kane, another driver like Jeff Gordon, who keeps finding himself at the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think if Kyle is upset, he had a run on the 11 car. I think the 11 may have just taken the air off the front of his car, and the car looked like he got in the wall before any contact was made.
We asked to speak to Kyle Busch. He's declined interviews.
So the top 7 cars stayed out, going all the way back to Bobby Labonte in the 71 car.
Let's hear some Kyle Busch audio.
Somebody better keep me away from Denny Hamlin after this race. I had this race won. It was won. I know, bud. We're saying the same thing, bud.
Let's have one more look at this.
Got to run. There's no question that he's got the big run on the outside right here. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. There could have been some contact on that right side, that right front to or right rear to left front that we don't see, but it almost looks like the car just got arrow tight and pushed up. When you look at it from here.
Yeah, I mean, he had a run, but I can't say that Denny Hamlin put him in the wall.
I don't see it that much either. I know he's upset, and he had a great run, and he would have made the pass if Denny Hamlin had to give him a little more room, but he's.
Now here's Kyle's onboard camera, his roof cam.
Yeah, you can see right there, no contact.
Not whatsoever.
Darrell, one of the great things about multi-car teams, you can transfer technology, you can work together, you can share information, you can help each other on the racetrack. One of the tough things about multi-car teams is when it's you and your teammate in an incident like that on the racetrack.
I think I said that when they started that 10 laps. Joe Gibbs might want to pray that they don't wreck each other, because $1 million on the line. And I remember I said there's no points, there's no chase, there's no friends, and there's no teammates.
So we have 97 laps complete. 3 laps to go. So we're not into green white checker yet. Kurt Busch has been able to distance himself from Jimmy Johnson. There are the 2 crew chiefs of the 2 leaders. Joey Logano has been closing in 3rd. Denny Hamlin 4th, Martin Truex 5th. Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte up to 7th for a car that was lapped early in the race. What a comeback for the 71. Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart was back about 18th most of the race. Now the defending winner of this event is in the top 10.
I think the last thing I would want to do is give that 48 a second chance, and he's got his second chance.
He did get it, absolutely.
Pace cars in. 3 laps to go. $1 million to win. Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Dodge against Chevy, green flag.
Kurt Busch got a great restart, a little bit of push from Denny Hamlin in the 11 car, starts working the high side.
Watch 11 on the top. Clear up, clear up, clear up.
And here comes Truex on the bottom from out of the transfer spot in the showdown. Nope, he got left.
Here.
I think they can come from where they want to. That too is burning it up right now.
Oh, Logano slipped up, got a little piece of Matt Kenseth.
Oh, got another
Johnson.
Car. Johnson's around.
Yellow flag.
And I'm telling you, that was so close. The flagman had the white flag in his hand. He just about waved it, but he threw the caution before Kurt Busch got back to the line.
Well, they sell lawnmowers at Lowe's. Do a little bit better job than on Splitter.
That's a snow flag.
Sorry, guys.
Well, he just...
Bud, come in and get some skins.
Well,
Overheating already. Coming in out.
Let's see how that got started.
Well, 11 car here. Looks like Johnson's down on the bottom. I think you're going to see that the 11 just sucks the 48 right around.
I think two things did it. He was below that white line, which is a little different banking than the corner, and then the 11 car right on the outside.
But you just watch that 11 as he goes by. He brings the 48 right around with him. But that's how close they run that car to being on the edge all the time. That car is always just right on the edge of being that loose.
Look at that thing. That's a sod buster right there.
Whoa.
Yeah. And of course that overheats the 48. He is the only car on pit road, and we'll have a green-white checker.
Tell you, old Chad checking out. Is he going to have a come apart tonight? He's had all kind of problems.
You know, right behind this, we about had something going between Matt Kenseth in the 17 and Joey Logano in the 20. You can see the splitter brace is bent there, which is a pretty good indication that splitter's bent up. That's going to hurt the handling the way this car drives.
Well, he can get to 4 tires if he wants to, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to do a whole lot with them.
So scoring now shows 98 laps complete. So they completed 1, and there's 2 to go. I think we were 97 complete as of the last restart. We'll double check that. So now I'm told we're going back, that since we did not complete the lap, we're going to go back, try it again. We're still not into green-white checker.
Yeah, here's what had happened there, Mike. We actually had completed 98 laps, and then that happened. Okay. And then they took the green flag. We were coming to the white flag, but the leader didn't make it back to the white flag. But because we don't keep scoring, we go under caution. Now we've got basically, we'll have 2 laps to go again because we didn't complete a lap.
We're going to run out of cars for long if I don't get this thing over with.
So Johnson back to pit road, and we've got some new contenders. How about Ryan Newman now in 3rd place? Matt Kenseth in 4th as they run right now. And my question will be, will we go back to the restart order of the previous restart because we did not complete a lap?
I don't know on that one, but what I do know is Ryan Newman was one of those cars after that big wreck that came to pit road and got 4 fresh tires. So he has some pretty fresh tires on that 39 car.
And once again, it's going to come back down to the restart. How the 2 car got the lead that time. Hamlin pushed him down into the first turn and got him going, but he was spinning a little bit when he crossed the line right here, but Hamlin was laid into him, pushing him. It didn't really hurt him that much.
And if Kurt Busch chooses the outside, which we assume he will.
So we do revert to the order of running at the last restart, except for Jimmy Johnson. who pitted under this caution, and so he did not maintain his speed behind the pace car to hold his position. He's the car that brought out the caution, so Jimmy will go to the back.
A lot of these guys are living to wreck again.
So it'll be Kurt Busch and Joey Logano.
Yeah, when you don't count laps, it gets a little bit complicated. It takes them a little bit to sort out where they were running when they completed the last lap.
You know, we talk about Jeff Gordon over here. Several years ago, they didn't put but just a little bit of fuel in it because they wanted to keep the car as light as they possibly could. They got into a situation like this, and they ran out of gas on the white flag. I hope all these guys down there put enough fuel in these cars.
So scoring is showing Kurt Busch and Joey Logano, then Hamlin and Truex, Kenseth and Newman, Harvick and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, of course, in the garage. Casey Kane in the garage. That would move Biffle up, Stewart, Keselowski, Labonte.
You know, that 48 car, I think about the last 7 races, 8 maybe, since we went to the spoiler. This car has been in several wrecks. Spun out at Richmond coming to get the checkered flag. He just spun out tonight. They can say that spoiler may not have been affecting them very much, but something's put that car over the edge.
All I know is there's no wins in the win column since we went to it.
I just didn't see any way that anybody could touch him tonight. He was out of here for most of the evening.
Not the first All-Star night that's happened. In fact, the 3rd time or 4th time that it's happened.
But the amazing thing is that 2 car of Kurt Busch.
Yeah.
I mean, he pounded the wall hard twice. Here he is leading.
One thing you got to say about this car, it is resilient, man.
Yeah, here's what happened earlier to Kurt Busch.
Yeah, right here, he's just in it. He's riding it. He was the one we said that the magnet got a hold of him. Right here, this is a big one right here.
Yeah, Mike, he finished that 3rd segment before the 10-minute break in the 11th position.
Now Joey Logano will line up on the front row next to Kurt Busch. He has not led tonight.
I'd say with his teammate behind him, he better take a death grip on that steering wheel.
He is. He's definitely going to get jacked up. I can tell him that.
Now, Tony Stewart won this race last year. How many laps did Tony lead? 2. The last 2. There's a look at Stewart.
Well, I can just tell you this. At this point in time, nobody's out of this race.
No, sir. Absolutely
You're
not.
still in it. You're still in it.
13 cars will take this restart. Two laps to go.
Well, our transfer guy, he's moved up too. There sits Martin Truex right there in 4th place. That's a great night for him, no matter what happens.
Kurt Busch brings him down with Joey Logano on the front row. Let's try it again to finish it off. Green flag for $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
2 laps to go.
2 car got a great restart that time.
And Martin Truex Jr. in that 56 car followed suit.
Hamlin got a little nudge of Truex. Stayed on the bottom behind Logano. Truex, 56, big drive off the corner.
Great run on the high side. Halfway down the back straightaway.
How about that? The 56 car wins the showdown, and here it looks like if he can make it around one more time.
White flag.
And Tony Stewart in that 14 car has worked his way to 5th, working on 4th with the nose caved in on that thing.
Stewart's come out of nowhere.
No mistakes right here for that cool $1 million.
9th try for Kurt Busch. He and Roger Penske and the Miller Lite Dodge are going to the bank. $1 million. Kurt Busch wins the Sprint All-Star race from Joey Logano. Or rather, Martin Truex, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, and Tony Stewart.
Roger Penske had a pretty good day, guys. Won the pole at Indy. wins the All-Star race tonight. The Penske weekend.
Brad Keselowski in that 12 car finished 7th, right behind Kevin Harvick in the 29.
Somebody said, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, they should put the winner of this race car tonight in the Hall of Fame, like they do at Daytona.
That'd be a great idea.
And if they did, it wouldn't be very pretty, but it would be there.
Job on pit road, boys.
Now we are told that Kyle Busch is still in the front of Denny Hamlin's hauler, waiting for the 11 to come back into the garage. And the Joe Gibbs team will have a bit of fence mending to do before next week's Coca-Cola 600 on Fox.
But it's amazing what happened over there in turn 2 with Kyle Busch. That's what allowed Kurt Busch to get that run on those cars and it go to second right there.
Kurt Busch led 3 times for 20 laps, including the final 8 laps.
I believe he's going to do the wind-up lap, possibly. Maybe not. Maybe just keep burning her down.
Just burn the house down.
No, surely he's not going to do the unwind lap.
Yeah, the unwind.
Yeah. You think he is? The vortex won't work going back.
There he goes. He's getting this down pat.
Man, I tell you.
Here's the finish. Busch the winner. Truex second after winning the showdown. Logano third, Hamlin fourth, Stewart fifth. Then Harvick, Keselowski, Kenseth, Biffle, and Labonte. More from All-Star Night after this.
No mistakes right here for that cool million. Bring it to the line, Big Daddy. Awesome work. Kurt Busch is feeling tough. You are the man. Way to go, boys. Woo! 1 million coolers, baby. Woo! Awesome, man. I love you.
Kurt Busch, $1,078,309.
Look at that. What an up and down night. Started on the pole.
Led the first segment 50 laps.
Then smacked the wall twice. He got a 10-minute break. Steve Addington, that group, gets her back together and wins the race.
There's a look at your unofficial top 10 with Truex and Biffle transferring out of the showdown and doing well.
Pretty nice night for Martin Truex, winning that showdown and then second in this race. That's a nice night for that team.
Dick Berggren's with him.
Indeed, he started 20th in the showdown, passed all those cars to win it, started in the back, and you almost won it, the big $1 million. Could you smell the money?
I could smell it. I mean, a couple more laps, I was right there, but what a good night. What a lot of fun we had. And, you know, second's not what we came here for, but it was a lot of fun. We were glad to get in the big show, and just proud of all these guys in the Snap Toyota. Proud of everybody at Michael Waltrip Racing for the race cars for building us. And, you know, tonight was a good night. We did what we came here for. Just came up one spot short, but it was a lot of fun tonight.
Congratulations. Job well done, Mike.
Thanks, Dick. Kind of a typical all-star night. I used to say this about the pro stocks that raced weekly at Stafford. They start with their fenders and tempers intact, and at the end of the night, both need a bit of repair.
Well, you just know it's going to come down that way. You know, the first 50 laps, you say, well, that wasn't very good. But then the next 20 is a little better, the next 20 is a little better, and that 10 laps is worth staying up all night for, as far as I'm concerned.
That car is banged up. But Larry, the pit crews played a pivotal role in how all this sorted out and how those cars got to battle for the win.
Well, it really did. You know, of course, you look at the battle off pit road after that 4-tire stop before the 10 laps, but I just talked about it. You know, you got to give a tip to Steve Addington and that 2 crew for repairing that race car, checking things out, and making sure that thing was right when they started that last 10 laps, even pounding the wall twice.
I just didn't have a good feeling about that 18 and 11 starting side by side in that 10-lap shootout. I just felt like there were going to be some bad feelings come from that because of those 2 guys and how aggressive they are.
Well, Chris to Jeff, it's going to be an interesting week leading up to the Coca-Cola 600 Memorial Day weekend on Fox.
Yes, it will, and it'll be an interesting week, I think, for Joe Gibbs Racing between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. You know, it was 3 years ago that it was a family feud between Kyle and Kurt. Now it's a teammate rivalry, so we'll have to see what happens there. But obviously, kudos to Kurt Busch. You know, only once in the last 14 years has the leader in Segment 1 gone on to win the All-Star race. Until now, Kurt does it.
To me, I think it was so amazing because, you know, we were talking about the pit crews and everything, but you start that the restart on segment 3, that number 2 car was 11th. I mean, all the things, all the beating and banging has been going on, and he just kept hammering it, I mean, it's just, you just never know what was going to happen, and he never gave up.
He did not, and neither did Kurt Busch. He is in victory lane. Steve Burns is with him.
At Krista, Kurt Busch just drove the entire 1.5 miles in reverse, getting celebrations from his wife Eva and the rest of the team. And climb on out of there, Kurt Busch. Let's start the celebration. Kurt Busch, as crew chief Steve Addington celebrating. Kurt, how in the world did you bounce that thing off the wall, not once, but twice, and wind up here in victory lane?
Man, we had a rough third segment. Also we did was bolted 2 right sides on, and I thought we had the right strategy then, but it really tightened the car up. I mean, I don't know if it's a set of tires or we didn't adjust anything there, but I was really disappointed with that third segment. But we were able to rally, took a break during that 10 minutes, took a deep breath, made 2 shock changes, a shim change on the front shocks. Just really went after it because I said, you know what, the car's good enough, but we just have to be good when it counts. And man, this car was a rocket ship at the end. So really excited, really excited.
Kurt, your first All-Star win, first special event win. What does that mean to a former champion?
Well, this is huge. I mean, these are one of the big marquee events. This, Daytona, racing here next weekend during the 600 Indy. The championship obviously is huge. But just to be able to do it here in front of the Penske Racing organization, to have this Dodge power and everybody from Penske, it's phenomenal. To win $1 million from Sprint, I got to thank those guys. It's unbelievable what they do for our sport and how we're all able to communicate better these days with Sprint around. But thanks to my team, wonderful sponsors with Lennox, Snap-on, PPG Paints, all the guys from Snap-on and mainly Dodge. Dodge, it's a big win for them, and I'm really happy to have them under the hood. So I want to thank everybody at Mobile One. Those guys are great. And, of course, Tag Heuer sunglasses, can't wear them at night. But it's a wonderful win for us. Really happy, and thanks.
How do you celebrate with $1 million?
I don't know, $1 million Miller Lights, I have no idea. This is an unbelievable win. This whole team, it's phenomenal. I'm really happy and just got to thank my whole crew. They really did a great job. The pit stop was solid at the end. We were able to dodge the wrecks, and ultimately we had the fastest car when it counted.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, it certainly was a roller coaster night from the pole to the wall to the kiss in victory lane. And Jeff does it in style, reverse into victory lane.
He loves that move right there. That's his signature right there, reverse lap, and he did it right. And there's the captain right there, Roger Penske, the owner of this organization. Flew in today from Indianapolis after having qualifying to be a part of this. He's got to be really excited. And I told you in the very beginning, you got to be fearless and lucky.
And he was definitely both as well. Definitely. What do you take away from this? Anything to look forward to, spin forward for a race on Fox next week?
Well, I mean, I think right now it sets up a whole lot of interesting scenarios. Can Kurt Busch come back here and run 600 miles and win a 600-miler? And what will happen at Joe Gibbs? Did this derail all this momentum that they've been carrying in, you know, previously before tonight? I mean, this All-Star race could be bad news for them.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch still up in the 11 hauler having a discussion. Of course, this was an All-Star event with something on the line. Bragging rights in your backyard, a leg up for next week's race. That one will be a marathon. Tonight was a sprint. Tomorrow, the sport recognizes its greatest names with the inaugural induction for the Hall of Fame. Kurt Busch adds a little fame to his game by winning the 26th Sprint All-Star race. From making history tonight to honoring history tomorrow, be sure to join us at noon Eastern on Speed. Tonight, it's all celebration for the Blue Deuce. NASCAR Victory Lane is next, right here on Speed.